Tobago House of Assembly. Joe Green George has the story.
The shores of Richmond Bay were a hive of activity on Sunday as the Glamorgan Youth Foundation Regatta brought the community together for a display of skill and local pride. What started as a small grassroots initiative has grown into a major fixture on the local calendar. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine noted the evolution of the foundation during his address to the crowd.
Shows growth, it shows determination from your community. And the Youth Assembly is extremely happy to support.
The transformation of the Bay Area is the result of a collaborative effort. Members of the Glamorgan Youth Foundation cleared undergrowth and installed benches, while the Tobago House of Assembly stepped in to provide essential infrastructure. Area Representative Dr. Faith Brebner says this self-starter attitude sets a standard for the rest of the island.
This is a perfect example of when communities do what they need to do and when communities take control of their own destiny.
The regatta is more than just a race. It is a boost for the local economy. Small vendors line the area selling food and snacks, turning the sporting event into a marketplace for micro enterprises. Looking ahead to 2027, the Chief Secretary is already issuing a challenge to the reigning champions.
Next year, I'm bringing a tea from Stateside and Casara because I'm sure of this.
With the 2026 event hailed as the most successful to date, organizers are being encouraged to keep the momentum going with activities year-round. For Tobago Updates Television News, I'm Jewel Green George.
The weather report when we return. Stay with us.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Huge prices to be won. And we can't forget the kids' corner with rides and Mausica feeling the pain. My faith's been tested time and time again. Oh, but my spirit is determined to believe and to overcome life trials that seem to never done. But still, I kneel before you with a praying song. Lord, I come to pray for the strength and the faith that's required. Amen. I pray for my people to not lose their fire. Amen. I send in prayers for those who suffering in silence. Amen. Grant them wisdom, cures, clarity and guidance. Amen. I pray for the young and I pray for the old. Cover their minds, Lord, don't let them lose control. Though we stand in sin, no transgressions are many. Thank God for the life that He gave me. So all you who doubting and losing faith, time to congregate and no time to separate. I'm calling on my prayer warriors in the country. Lord, for Trinidad need we, cause I say Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Life is getting harder to manage. Oh yeah. The plan you had for us, it's vanishing. Cause the violence, Lord, the nation in distress. What's it gonna take? We need a rest. It's time that we repent and we confess. Cause Lord, I'm tired of the bloodshed rising in numbers. Amen. I'm tired see the youth choose the path of plunder. Amen. Can't walk the street in peace is a problem. Amen. Father, intervene, please save your children. Amen. I pray for them young, them surrender your soul. You're not fully dumb, but you're fully in control. To change up your mindset and clean up your community. Thank God for the life that He gave we. To all you who doubting and losing faith, time to congregate and no time to separate. I'm calling all the prayer warriors in the country. Come for Trinidad need we, cause I say Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Deception is spreading, it's trending. Oh yeah. Greed and lies has surely shake we faith. Hearts gone cold, the wicked quoting well. Doubt in a place where hope should dwell. We all have to answer to you, so knees go bend. In the end, Lord, I'm praying for the leaders to lead with integrity. Amen. So my people could thrive and provide for the family. Amen. I really fed up on the racism, hate the division. Amen. We all have history here, don't matter your religion. I'm praying for all them false prophets that mislead your flock. Lord, open the eyes of the sheep that they mock. I pray in your strength and we in solidarity. Thank God for the life that He gave me. So all you who doubting and losing faith, time to congregate and no time to separate. I'm calling all the prayer warriors in the country. Come for Trinidad need we, cause I say Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. With you we walking through the fire. Amen. To make it we must stand together. Amen. To build safer communities. Amen. Enjoy the life that you give we. Amen. You are a feeling to behold. Guide all straying souls. Amen. Who God bless, no man curse. Speak it in the universe. I say, no place protection around way. Amen. So the devil can't touch we. Amen. Remove evil mind and jealousy. Amen. Keep we away from that jumping. Oh Lord, Lord, I feel a joy in my soul. Amen. Cause you always in control. Amen. The only way blessing. Amen. They gon' need a blessing. Amen. Amen.
The information provided by the speakers and/or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, constructive talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
Or the
assignment to put we country into alignment. But every time they read us with their ego, it's the vulnerable who feeling that below. Lord, is it ignorance or is it arrogance? I don't know what to call it in this instance. Look at paradise right in front we eyes, but we still want to talk about who we despise.
Tell me where else can we go?
If we start to mash up the good things we know.
Tell me where else can we go?
If we treat we traditions like a papi show, you could fix everything on we island. Put gunships on we back like a tyrant. You could put 10 radars all up Scarborough. But don't forget, this is Trinidad. will be accepted by our Trinity. We come from long days on the ground, working hard until daylight come, so we'll see it wrong to be a financial donkey. Cause every day we see a new taxation that causing a new kind of sufferation. And when you don't create that irritation, you send police to fix with desperation. Lord, where's the common sense? Where's the true intent to make you think oppression is relevant? Don't be shocked, my friend, when we start to bend and you see them placards in front of the parliament.
Tell me where else can we go?
If we little children are not free to grow,
Tell me where else can we go?
if they try to ban the words in the calypso, you could try to stop social media or the taping of police murders. You could rewrite a bill like this also. But don't forget, this is Trinidad. Take one look around. Even lingo and all could see confusions in tongue, and it's affecting everybody. Politicians and Facebook trolls, even Kaisonians lost their role. The world's upside down, and I'm worried for my country. Cause every day I see victimization, racial and social aberration. We saying is love need to go wrong, but we spreading this thing like a toxin. Man, things getting so tense, some can't pay their rent, and the effect of this feeling permanent. But what scares me though, just so that you know, is the money we about to borrow.
Tell me where else can we go?
If the IMF start to pull we toe,
Tell me where else can we go?
if we toilet paper start to run too low, you could stress out the sea pepper worker. Take a fool and make him a leader. You could change every board cause it's your show. But don't forget, this is Trinidad. I know it's good intentions. We Prime Minister have for we, but brutal measures would only cause rebellion in TNT, like what caused Cambule in times of old. And it's so the story unfold. It's that rebellion that give we people identity. So careful how you deal with the intellect, cause DNA remembers every aspect. Not every time we cry it's just politics. Your mind could start to play you some dirty tricks. Look,
Good evening,
remember that
Trinidad
honor
and Tobago.
comes
Good
before
evening,
minister,
on to
and that's
constructive
why
talk
we give him
with
so much
me,
power.
Pastor
So don't
Lucas.
let us down,
And it's
and
always
don't
a
let
pleasure
us
to be
frown.
on.
We need to see a
Yep.
360 turn
What today is
around.
Wednesday.
Where else can we go?
Wednesday.
If your
A
promises
gentleman
start
promised
to
me that
look
he will honor
untrue,
me
Tell me
to be, and he kept his promise.
if your own folks
Kept his promise.
losing trust in you could do what you
Gentleman
want.
kept his promise. So, good evening, sir.
Greetings.
Hey, you're sounding like if you're in the studio, boy. Yeah, you're sounding like you're in Pleasantville, like you're right round the corner out.
In Trinidad, nowhere is too far when you're a politician.
You laugh. You know why you're laughing? I ain't gonna go down that road with you tonight, nah? Yeah, because the politicians are looking good,
Which ones?
The politicians are looking good. I told you, you listen to the news this evening, that we're not jumping into it just yet. But ladies and gentlemen, and those of you who are locked onto constructive talk, This evening, I have as my honorary guest, Mr. Dominic Romaine. Look him right here. Look him right on the screen there. That is the man who I have as my guest this evening, the Honorable Member of Parliament for Mausica, what? Malabar Mausica?
Malabar Mausica.
Yeah, Malabar Mausica. Oh, God, you had to excuse me. Something is a new seat. Well, if we name the seat.
Yeah. It's not you alone. It takes some getting used to.
All right. Once you know that. So, Trinidad and Tobago, my honorary guest is with me this evening. Well, I had Dr. Amory Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I had MP Scotland, SC.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Honorable Mr. Brian Manning, my Member of Parliament. Right?
Right.
And now I'm having you.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's because people have been saying to me to invite you guys on and for you all to talk and let people know what's happening and what is going on with you guys, and to the people who feel I can't get Dominic on my program now, he's on, right? He on tonight. I didn't advertise it because I didn't want it to feel, as though, what I mean. You know what they would say? He didn't advertise Dr. Amy Brown. He didn't advertise Keith Scotland. He advertising Dominic. You know that kind of bacchanal thing now. So let me move away from that. But did you manage to listen to the news this evening, sir?
No, we had legislative committee meeting at Balize House this evening, so I wasn't able to catch it.
You didn't catch the news, boy?
No, I did not.
Well, several things happened in the news this evening.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to highlight things that somehow or the other jump out at me. I don't touch everything, but there are some things that I can't afford not to touch, Dominic.
Right.
Do you know that the government of Trinidad and Tobago today launched their second job fair?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so if you're seeking you're seeking employment at the what is called that, boy, the cycling ring in center, the cycling center in Cuba.
Yes,
today they launched their second set of registration. So you had a lot of former CPEP workers.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to play for you, Dominic. By chance you're watching the program, or you're just talking to me on the phone, but you're not seeing what's going on.
I'm seeing you. Yes.
All right, so I wanted to we're going to get into this tonight, because I'm going to play you. I'm going to play you the encounter the media had at that event today.
Right.
I found it to be strange that it was in the 7 o'clock news tonight. But you have to, Dominic, you have to take note. When you go in Parliament, you have to jam them with this one. Because it says a lot. It says a lot. The other thing that jumped out at me in the news tonight, Dominic, was, did you see, or are you aware that the Minister of Homeland Security signed off on a young man from his community to be locked up?
I heard about that, yes.
Yeah, right. So we go deal with that one. And there's another one I want you to talk about. Are you aware of the Commissioner of Police and Gary Griffith having a tick for that?
I am not surprised in the least. I mean, I've heard Gary Griffith speak about the commissioner, but until now, the commissioner has, well, based on what I know, has refused to engage Mr. Griffith.
But he engaged him tonight.
Well, I guess his patience must have run out then.
Bacchanalia. I think You remember the bacchanal was Dr. Rowley calling Miss Bissessa a Jamet.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I think the commissioner kind of, he and Gary confrontation or bacchanal kind of, it's a horse race. Right now, Dr. Rowley in the lead, but the commissioner and Gary right behind. They're right behind. When I tell you they're right behind, Dominic, they're right behind. So this evening, we're going to be dealing with current affairs, issues, drama, things that are going on in Trinidad and Tobago as we normally do on this show. But I'm going to I have a guest with me, Mr. Dominic Romaine. I'm going to interview him. We're going to have a formal interview. Yes, we're going to have a formal interview with Dominic because why? It is coming up to a year since Mr. Romaine has been an elected member of parliament. 1 year. Within that 1 year, he has found his footing in the parliament, where he has been in debates. I hear him ask questions and stuff like that. But what I want him to get into this evening a little bit with how he interacts with his constituents. What are some of the challenges? If he was to, if what are the challenges and stuff like that. So we're going to get into something like a formal interview because I think it is important as a newly minted member of parliament to be given an opportunity to share your heart, share your concerns, and share the journey for a year. It has been it coming to a year, Mr. Romaine. How has it been? Be honest, eh?
Well,
don't butter it up.
Well, it has had its ups and downs. I mean, I've told people that being an MP sometimes looks glamorous from the outside, but when you get into it, and I think whether you're in government or in opposition, that's just the reality. So I in my early months, I wondered how it is. My colleagues would have done this before. Of course, in my constituency of Malabar, Mausica, it's the first time we've been that the PNM has been we were in opposition in 2010. It's the first time the constituency has been in opposition since 2001. The last time we had an opposition MP was 2001 under Jared Narayan. Right, and thereafter, when he became a minister, when the PNM would have come into office in December of 2001, 2002, thereafter we had after him we had Karen Nunes Teixeira, and in 2010 we had Anil Roberts, who was in government, followed year. That was an episode, followed by Brigadier Antoine, and then of course the late Lisa Morris Julian. So it has been an adjustment for many, particularly persons who serve on my constituency executive, to make that transition from government to opposition. And so as I said, there are the challenges when you sit in opposition, and it is difficult to get resources, as you would expect. The number of infrastructural projects in the constituency that need work, needs attention. I have, in fact, I've spoken to the Minister of Works and Infrastructure. I have written to the Minister of Works and Infrastructure inviting her to come and conduct a tour of the constituency, as I've seen her done with several UNC MPs. And all I've gotten is a generic letter response from not herself, but her secretariat, telling me that the minister has received the letter and it will be passed to the relevant department. But I do understand why you're sending it to a department when I'm asking for the minister herself to come and tour the constituency and to see some of the infrastructural projects that need attending to. Of course, when I went there, I said, I'm not going to be combative in the parliament because I understand if you want to get things done, you have to, kind of, as they say, stoop to conquer, unfortunately. But this administration has made it very, very difficult. because in the parliament, I would tell you, there have been times when I'm sitting there and I just feel like picking up my briefcase and walking out, because this government has an axe to grind and they're grinding it. Almost every time they have to respond to us, whoever you speak on the government side, almost invariably, they have to inject the last 10 years and the 10 years under the PNM and a whole decade under the PNM, and this wasn't done and that wasn't done. And as I always have to point out to them, the population deliberated on that on April 28, 2025. They do not need any rehashing. You all said you would fix it. You all said you had the solutions to everything. When UNC wins, everybody is supposed to win. And the population expected that when they woke up on the morning of April 29, 2025, and you pull your curtain, you were supposed to see your yard covered in milk and honey. That has not been the case for many people. And there are challenges. Clearly, this government did not take the time while they were in opposition to study the lay of the land, so to speak. All they did was oppose, challenge everything that the PNM did, everything that the PNM said. When Dr. Rowley spoke to the nation and asked us to tighten our belts, asked us to hold a little straight until 2027, when there was the expectation that we would have seen the realization of several gas projects, which the PNM would have been working on for a number of years. And there was no patience coming from the UNC supporters in the UNC camp. But in the last 10.5 months, it seems that the supporters of the UNC have developed the patience of Job. For everything that they had no patience for under the PNM, now they have patience for, yes, we understand the country's economic circumstance. Yes, we understand with the crime situation. You know, they went from Rowley must go, Hines must go, to now is let us pray. You know, we need to call on God in these times, and only God could help the nation. But when Willa Christopher said pray, these are the same hypocrites that criticized her. But now their party in power, they understand the power of pray. And yesterday I went to I have 5 primary schools in my constituency, and so I went yesterday to hand out SCA packages to the Standard 5 students. And I had the occasion to speak with one of the principals at one of the schools. And she was telling me that as a result of the government's cancellation of the CPEP and the URP program and the forestry and so on, she has seen an uptick in the number of absences from students. You have students whose parents sometimes will call the school to tell her, the principal, well, look, I can't send my kids to school today because we have no food. We have nothing to eat. I don't have any money to pay passage to send the children to school. You see it sometimes in the children. Some of them, their shirts, their school shirts, so washed out, they're thin. Some of them, they can't afford to go to the barber, so she's had to pull up the parents sometime and let them know. You still had to try and maintain some level of grooming for the children. So it's difficult. And for a government that, when they were in opposition, knew the nexus between crime and poverty, and now they want to distance themselves from that. And I always say, when Kamala Persad-Bissessar was leader of the opposition, every time she found a camera or microphone in her face, the first thing she used to say, everybody's suffering. People can't afford to put food on the table, they can't afford to pay the bills, send the children to school. But at least these same people were earning an income. May not have been the best, but they were earning an income to fill a hole and to make ends meet. Now you've taken away their ability to do that, and they're not suffering. She doesn't recognize suffering anymore. The same people who she was defending when she was leader of the opposition, today now she's prime minister and making a lot more money than she was then. So I guess it's easier for her to, turn a blind eye to the struggles and the suffering of others. But you've managed to create the largest cabinet in the country's history, complaining you don't have money, but yet still you have enough money to be able to pay unnecessary ministers over $70,000 a month for doing precious little or nothing at all. But, the PNM camp, we had to take some blame for that. PNM supporters, in the main, didn't go out and do what they were supposed to do on April 28th, and now we find ourselves in penance for the next 4 years and 3 months.
But while I hear you and I understand, we will get into that a little bit. But I just wanted to go back to the point that you were making about SCA students, and the principal was bringing to your attention
Yes.
that there are children who are not able to make it to school.
Yeah.
And even if they do make it to school, they're hungry. They're literally, the belly's in their hand.
Correct.
I remember the member of parliament, Miss late Miss Morris Julian Lisa. She had something called, what was it, boy? Gosh, it has kept me. She had gotten an abandoned AGC house, and she had turned it into a food bank,
right?
Where persons from the community would drop off canned stuff, non-perishable items. If they have cheese, milk, butter, that are defreeze for those things, and it was a food bank where persons who did not have food could have come with a market bag or whatever, 2 bags, and take the necessary stuff and be able to feed their family. Is that still that? Because she used to get sponsors. Because I had interviewed her on 91 at that time, where she used to get sponsors from some of those brand name groceries. Used to give her groceries, give her stuff, tell her come with your list and back up a van and take stuff and replenish and keep that food bank going. Is that still operational?
No, it's not. What we did have up until recently was something called the cashew tree house, where they would have partnered, members of the constituency executive would have partnered with Field, and from time to time they would get certain food items like in large quantities, things like cornmeal and peas and stuff, and they would bag it out to provide for the less fortunate. But what I can tell you is that since having lost the election, and there is, I guess, when you're in power, you have friends, fair weather friends. When you're out of power, you see who those fair weather friends are. And I can tell you there are a lot of people who would have been benefactors of the party, benefactors of those constituencies that were under PNM control, who, since we are no longer in office, that these persons have become few and far apart, right? So I have been, one or two persons from my constituency executive have come forward to suggest ways and means in which we could revive something similar to that. But in the interim, in the absence of that, because it has been a struggle really to maintain something like that, because we've reached out to certain corporate entities who have told us, things hard and they can't afford to do these things right now, and some people tell you to check them back and the like. But because of my podcast on a Sunday, I have been fortunate to have a lot of my listeners who would reach out and who would provide hampers and grocery vouchers and stuff like that. Some people will reach out to ask me for my constituency bank account number, and so that they can make donations. And I'm very strict with that, right? So I don't want anybody to give me money in hand. I give them the constituency account number, and the money goes there so that it can be accounted for, because Parliament comes ever so often to do an audit of our bank accounts and our expenditure. So any monies that comes to us, we can see, well, if we pass through there, and this is what we would have done. Not that we are obligated to provide them with any receipts for donations, but for the sake of transparency, we do that.
Right.
So we have to assess persons in that regard. So we have been able to provide some help. Of course, I must say the government has given out a lot of food cards between last year, Diwali, to now. So they would have given us, I think, 60 food cards for Diwali. Then they gave us 250 for Christmas. We got 100 recently for Eid, and then they're supposed to give us another 100 for the Baptist holiday. Nothing for Easter. So I guess they're not too interested in the Christian side of things there. But so those have also been able to assist. And I can tell you, as soon as people hear the government has given food cards, the phones ring nonstop. People are coming by the office. They reach out to me on social media, on Facebook Messenger. People will follow me on Instagram and send messages asking for assistance if they could get a card. And we also see repeat requests as well. So you might give somebody a card from the last batch, and then they will message you or they will call the office to see things hard, and they still haven't been able to get any employment, and any assistance would be appreciated. And these people really, they are in need, because people come to see me every week, and not a week goes by that I don't have people come in and sit in my office, and big men and women, and they just break down, just in tears, because they don't know, while they know struggle, being without work for so many months, and it's very difficult to get jobs. And because of the amount of people who come to me every week looking for work, it's really competitive out there. So many people, thousands of people looking for work and can't find. So it has been a struggle. So we try to look for innovative ways, but one of the things that, and as I understand, one of the ways that Lisa would have been able to fund that initiative was, we would have had 9 CPEP gangs in the constituency. And so part of giving back is that the CPEP contractors actually used to contribute on a monthly basis out of their earnings to assist in purchasing foodstuff and the like. And now that all of those gangs are gone, so there may have been persons as well who may have been fortunate to have gotten a contract with forestry, or who may have been on a state board or something, and they would have given back to the community, to the constituency. But now that none of those things exist, some of those very people who used to assist in that regard are now themselves reaching out to me for help.
Wow.
Right? Some of them, their loans are in arrears. Some of them are facing eviction notices. Some of them have received notices from hire purchase companies. They come in to repossess furniture and appliances and so on. So it's really been a struggle. But of course, the government really doesn't care. They don't. And for a government that campaigned on, when UNC wins, everybody wins, and they will take care of everybody, they're certainly not doing that. And we're feeling it. But coming back to the issue of the principal yesterday, one of the things that she mentioned to me was her concern that as school is about to close for the Easter vacation, those children who depend on the school feeding meals for breakfast and lunch will not have that. And so she's concerned about those who will not be able to eat for the next 2 weeks, right? Because their parents just don't have. So it really is tough. I don't know how these people manage, but I feel it for the children. I really do, because the principal was telling me that the state, the government does not allow the children to take home the box lunch, right? Because in case of anything that they leave with it and anybody get food poisoning or so on, and if it is the principal encourages or allows that to happen, it is possible that they've been warned that they could end up losing the school feeding program. And so many times they are forced to throw away food. So they may have extras, but if the child is not on the school feeding program list, they don't want to take the chance to give it to them, because in case the child may have some allergy and there's something in the food that the child is allergic to, they don't want that responsibility. So she said, as difficult as it is sometimes to throw away the food, they don't have a choice. And they know that these children, some of them try to hide the lunch, or they might ask for an extra one and hide it in their school bag. So sometimes the teachers or the principal might turn a blind eye, just allow them to take it home, because that just might be dinner for them and a sibling. So that's where we are. When we have ministers who who are living high off of the hog, doing precious little to nothing at all, other than going on Facebook every night, every day and every night to cuss the PNM and talk about the 10 years under the PNM. They're buying the most expensive SUVs and the like. They're just enjoying life. And meanwhile, they would have brought hardship on these families, and it's almost as if they don't care. And anything that they do is always as lights, camera, action. You try to profit off of the suffering of others, which is unfortunate. But I don't think citizens really understand what they lost out on as a result of April 28th. And I foresee this government is going to go all the way down to the wire. So we continue to battle as we approach 1 year. It's been one tough year, I must say. One tough year. And there have been times I've asked myself, what did I get myself into?
Wow.
What did I get myself into? Yeah. Because when people come to you with genuine needs and you can't help them, it's not that you don't want to help, but when you know you can't, when people come into me, they've applied for HTC houses for years and just nothing happening. And they come to me in the hope that I could do something for them, and I try. I really try. I write to David Lee. I will talk to David Lee in the Parliament chamber, say, Mr. Lee, so is the case, this person we could do. And this is Senate, but nothing happens. And where do you turn? So
wow. That is because we talking, right, Dominic? I mean, and you're sharing your heart, and you learn the listeners, and they know, because I know on your program you may not have the opportunity to talk it like how you're talking it here now, in the sense that we're having a conversation with somebody,
Yeah.
I was asked by members of my community to throw my hat in the ring, come and serve. Come and serve us. We appreciate you. We know the stuff that you have been doing in the community, and not just in the community, but just nationwide, educating the nation on what's going on. But you see, when I hear people like you, when I hear people even like the opposition leader, and you hear others, how tough it is, I just wonder, boy. I just wonder, and I'm going to throw God in the mix, and that's why you all need people to pray for you and encourage you guys, and not always come cap in hand or asking for something, but also with a word of encouragement. You all need that. You all need words of encouragement, words of affirmation, words of just hey, I know you're tough boy, Dominic boy, but keep the fight, and that kind of thing. You all need that, because if I keep coming to you every time we meet up, Dominic, and I keep saying to you, boy, Dominic boy, this thing rough, boy, the place hard, and all I telling you is what you don't know already. It's difficult. It's not an encouragement. And when you see me, you go want to duck me, because at the end of the day, you're not really helping me. You making it more difficult for me. You making this journey a tough one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and the reality of it is that what you're talking about there, I could suggest to you, because there are a lot of churches, I'm sure, in your area. Partner with some of the pastors and them, do some soup kitchen, especially now knowing that children are going to be home for the Easter, and the principal shared with you what are some of the concerns that she is worried about. Partner with some of the churches around and say, here, what now, pastor? I would have had a conversation with the principal of the primary school or the secondary school. Well, mainly the primary school, because, they were getting ready for SEA. And she shared with me some concerns, and these are the concerns. You can even put it on a letter.
Yeah.
And send it to the pastors in the community, in the area, all of the churches, every single one of the churches, and asking them to partner with you to create a soup kitchen, so that during the holidays, you all could do meals on wheels, where they cook, whatever church, cook a meal, and, if you before school close, if you get a list from the principal of some of the children that she would be aware of that genuinely will need that support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, brother, we have to find innovative ways to show the people that you are a strong leader, Dominic, and you have their back. You know what they're going through, and you're going to try to pull on people who's supposed to be able to help you. And the church supposed to be one of those communities that should be able to say, Dominic, we can't get $100, but if you could get 50 boxes from this church, see if the church of the world could give you another 50, you'll get 100, and we will pull the young men from the community, from the church, who have vehicles to drop it off, and whatever. Let's work together. If we talk this here, and you tell me, by Google, but you know I do that and not that church respond, I go feel shame. I will feel shame, Dominic, because at the end of the day, that is part of our responsibility as a church to see about the homeless, the fatherless, the widows. Those are our responsibility as a church. You know what I mean? So I think.
Well, I was to my constituency executive and because in fact yesterday the mayor of Arima joined us at one of the schools because he came to drop off some stuff as well.
Right.
And the school had some issues with respect to overgrown bush in the yard. They wanted to start a grow box, but again, CPAP used to assist with cutting the bush and all of that, which they no longer have. And based on this, and this was one of the more recently constructed schools, based on where the contractor would have put the boundary line, the fence line, persons who lived behind the school would have started taking some of the land and stuff, and that belongs to the school. And the mayor said he would speak to some of the churches, I think the Anglican churches in the constituency, to get a commitment from them to come on and at least cut the grass and so on, maintain it on a regular basis. So I suppose I can probably reach out to him as well, because if he has that type of contact. Now, the mayor, of course, being one of the wealthiest citizens in Arima, I mean, he gives, but could they do more? I suppose, because he does have ADM. He's the owner of ADM supermarket. His family owns Mirage West Side. I think they own Hearty Foods and Jumbo Foods and stuff. So it's really, I think, for people like these to step forward, even if you say, well, give people something on a discount, something to be able to assist, or even if you want to provide us with the ingredients for a meal or two. I have people in my constituency who can cook very well. We have access.
No, don't just say they can cook for the hand sweet. I remember when they had the meeting, when you all had the meeting. In your and one of the ladies cook a mean corn soup.
That is Councillor Joycelyn Worrell.
Come on, man. Good night, Miss Worrell. Good night, Councillor.
She actually studied culinary arts, so she knows her way around.
Come on. And they can get the community center to cook the food and all.
Yes. Correct. We have those facilities, so it may just be to get the ingredients, and I'm sure people would volunteer.
Of course, yeah. Dominic. Right? And really and truly, Dominic, I think you need to jump on that ASAP before school close. Yeah. Try and get from the principal the list of the students who that she is aware of. That because she shared the concern to you, so that means that she is aware of who the children are that would need that assistance. Because you see, and that is the heart of a principal, a teacher. Hey, I know these children and I'm going home, but they don't have nothing, I don't know how they're going to make out over the Easter weekend. That's real good that she feels comfortable to tell you that.
Yeah, well, I did ask her to supply me with a list of names of some of the parents so that I could give them
food cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's another good thing. You know, as you say that, wow, boy, it's really, really hard, you know, boy. That you know, this is just another wake up call.
Yeah.
You know, just
elections
another...
have consequences, and it's unfortunate that for us to learn that it has to be at the expense of the poor.
Yeah.
The poorest of the poor. I think nobody could dispute that. UNC can say what they want, right? Their last 10.5 months in government has been particularly harsh on the poor.
Of course.
But you know the unfortunate thing, Google, is that even if you mete out even the smallest amount of hardship on the poor for simply because of politics, because in your mind you figure that the majority of people who win these programs were PNM and you would not have gotten their votes anyway, so it doesn't really matter to you.
Yeah.
And then you would have caused these people to struggle. I mean, let us not forget we have had persons who have taken their own lives because they couldn't support their family. You can't. Nothing this government does going forward could ever bring these people back.
Yeah.
Right? And they didn't even have the courtesy, the decency to reach out to these families to try and help. Nothing at all. You pretend as if it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But you know, I saw where I was just reading before you called me an article there where BP and Shell and so on are saying that they expect a third of the tide with respect to this country's gas supply from 2027. The fields, a lot of the gas fields that the PNM and Stuart Young would have worked on for a number of years. And so with gas prices being what they are, this government is in line for a windfall. And you know, they'll probably come with some program to try and mamagai and chin up people's head. Like this program for the upkeep of public spaces that they've had was a pilot project for 13 weeks that came to an end, I think, last week or week before. And 6 fortnights, and some persons have only gotten paid for 1 or 2. In fact, one of the names that I would have sent up, the guy, he hasn't gotten paid at all. So he called me this afternoon to ask me if I can give him a lift down to Port of Spain tomorrow for him to go down to Khadija Amin's office at Kent House so that he could look into that to find out what it is going on with his money. But they and the unfortunate thing is that this government understands the psyche of the Trinidadian and, well, I would say the Trinidadian citizen, because I went to Tobago today and I see URP is still fully functional over there and CPEP is still fully functional over there. So it's just here in Trinidad they want to tell you about corruption and so on. They will come with some program and you know, and all will be forgiven, and these people will just run back to them and say, yes, Kamala is so great and so wonderful, and forget about the hardship that she would have put them through for the last 10 months. But we know the last time they were in office, according to Prasad Bisasa, her government had the highest energy revenues in the country's history, and they seem poised to be able to benefit from that again. I don't know, boy. You know, it's after all the hard work of Stuart Young and the PNM, right? And we warn the population, do not give these people the opportunity to get into office to benefit from all of the hard work that they criticized, that they wrote to the US calling for sanctions and so on. All of the nasty things that they did to thwart the efforts. Whenever Stuart Young was traveling, going to Washington, going to Venezuela, they want to know how much money, how many times he went, and how much money was spent on the trip, and who he talked to, and what they talk about, and what he signed, and non-disclosure agreement, all manner of rubbish. And all of those things that Stuart Young would have done, and all of that efforts that he put out. And I always say, Trini is really ungrateful, because when Stuart Young was doing, according to Dr. Rowley, all of that shuttle work between Port of Spain, Washington, and Caracas, the man has children. He has 2 sons, right? When these wretches were home hugging up the children and the grandchildren, and he out there battling for Trinidad and Tobago, you know many things he missed out in his sons' lives that he can't get back. But he understood that he was doing it for the greater good of Trinidad and Tobago, and then now the fruits of his labor is about to come into being, and the UNC is going to benefit from it. And they are going to ensure that their people benefit the most. Of course, they're going to fix up their constituencies and solve for the PNM constituencies. And now we'll keep hearing about the 10 years under the PNM and why they didn't fix it and why they didn't do it, because they didn't have the money. And now they are going to have the money, and they are going to spend it as they see fit. and the poor will continue to struggle.
But and while you're on that, Dominic, and I hear you with MP Minister Young, well MP Young back then, Prime Minister would have done all of the hard work, as you said,
Yes,
and put in all the hard work. But people, and we going into what you were talking about earlier on, people found or felt as though there wasn't a balance.
yeah,
In the sense that, I always hear TD Jake say it, if a father doesn't go out to work, how will his children eat and how will they be provided for? Right? You have to create a balance. And one of the balance I think the PNM did not create was educating their people. Or educating educating the public. Not just their people or not just their supporters, but educating Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, Dr. Rowley and they would have had press conference. Every time he go out of the country and he come back, the media chucking a mic in his mouth. But the most popular thing back then and even now to the population is social media and what people, snippets of what people would glean. People don't have time to sit down and read no whole newspaper.
yeah.
People don't have no time to sit down and listen to news like how I just sit down and listen to news and pull out clips and present it to people on social media to get an understanding of what we are faced with as a nation with this government. People don't have time for that. That's why you have people like me and you and Rambles and what's your name? Rhoda?
News source?
Yeah. That's why you have people like us. Because what we do is that we listen keenly to what's being said in the news. And Dominic, and they could say what they want to know. But that is the foundation of my program. I would go, sit down, listen to the news, glean from the news. But wait, now this song ain't real fishy. What do people think about this? Look, Watson, you get a walk. Watson, you win. But some of you will win.
Yeah.
Look at what's going on. Look at what's going on with TTT, Talk City. Look at what's happening at Talk City, TTT. Most of those fellas who are sitting behind a microphone and operating and talking, not qualified for that position.
Correct. But they know who the audience that they targeting.
Thank you.
On social media. But Google, you already call that from my days at 91.9 since 2018 when I came back and when Dane handed me that program, we were complaining all the time when you would fill in for Dane that the PNM not doing enough to promote the government and what it is that they're doing. We used to say that the PNM's public relations was weak.
Say the right way. Say the right way. We used to say it was piss poor.
Yes.
That's what we used to say.
And we said it on air. I mean, we used to go out and do the work that the party should have been doing.
Remember when we leave the studio a day to go in Sawa to look for a building? You remember, let me talk. People want to talk. Let me talk. You remember when we wrote to the late Marlene McDonald for her to give us the information on buildings that were rented by UNC people? We ever get?
No.
How much ministers, how much people we beg to come and talk, come on the air and tell people about the successes of your ministry. What are the success stories in your ministry?
Correct.
What are the success stories? You know what they used to say? We're doing the work. Only doing the work, but if people know about the work?
Correct.
Look at how this minister of what is he by tourism? No, it's tourism, not the man for Sasha. What he is?
Tourism is Kama Mirage.
Right. Look at what he is talking about. Flights from Trinidad to Africa.
Ghana.
To Ghana. Who started that? But when we were begging them to come, they wouldn't come. They wouldn't come. All right, you don't want to come? Take a phone call.
Yes.
So while I understand what you're saying, that Short Young did all the work, and all the work was out there, and this and that, and now the UNC coming to reap that windfall. And they may not even, let's be real, Dominic, they may not even reap a proper windfall because their negotiating skills is rubbish.
But you see, that's the thing. They will benefit from all of the things that Stuart Young and Dr. Rowley would have negotiated. So everything is in place. It's just for the money to start to flow. And because I saw where Stuart put out something just maybe about an hour or so ago, where he's saying that Rudal Munilal really and truly has done nothing of significance since he has become Minister of Energy. I think he's out of his depth. I don't understand what Kamala was thinking when she put Munilal in that position, because I don't know him to have any background in energy whatsoever. But nevertheless, she put him there, and so there isn't much that they need to do, save and except for any, well, to your point, new negotiations that they may have with people like Chevron, who the Prime Minister claimed, well, Munilal say he got a call from Chevron, they want to come and talk to him, and Exxon and these companies. So as you said, maybe for those, they would be willing, just like they did last time, to give these companies every and anything that they want, just to bring them here so that they could boast, well, we brought Chevron here, we bring Exxon, but what are you giving up? What is the kickback? Because last time they were in power, we saw where they would have given concessions to these energy companies as an inducement for them to come and drill for oil and drill for gas, and told them, here, what the money, whatever money you spend to drill these wells, you could write that off against any economic rents that you would owe the state in the form of taxes and royalties on your existing operations. And that was supposed to run into 2027. We are in 2026. So had the PNM not come into office in 2015, look at the amount of money that the country would have lost as a result of those sweetheart concessions. But this is a government that is inclined towards wastage and squandermania. Again, we saw it 2010 to 2015. I always talk about how they came in 2010 and met the exchequer account 10 billion in overdraft. And when they left, it was 33 billion in overdraft, with nothing to show for it. Mr. Manning built Napa, he built SAPA, they built the Chancery Lane administrative complex that Kamala turned into a teaching hospital. He built the Prime Minister's residence and diplomatic center. So many things were constructed, the government campus, the waterfront, and he didn't take the exchequer account to $33 billion in overdraft. But they came in, everything that they built was built from loans that they took from the Chinese, and they had all this money. They raided the NGC bank account to the tune of billions of dollars, and what do we have to show for it? They've done nothing of substance in the last 10.5 months. And as I was saying on my program on Sunday, a gentleman who came to see me, this man was working at Calco for the last 7 years, driving truck. The man is well qualified, and he was laid off because he said the company is not getting any work. The government is not paving roads. They're not resurfacing roads. All they're doing is patching, and they're trying as best as possible to do it in-house or giving the contracts to UNC contractors, these little small contractors on them by the wayside, and who are being used as fronts by the bigger companies that were not getting work under the PNM for good reason. And so these companies are struggling and people are being laid off. So even people who had good jobs and who thought that they were in stable jobs and were thinking, well, this wouldn't impact me, it has now reached them and they are being affected. A lady came to see me yesterday and she's telling me her son, he was working in the Ministry of Public Admin, and he had a 3-year contract. And when this government came in, he was only into the first year of his contract, and they broke his contract and fired him. And now he's home. He's frustrated. He's 32 years old. He's qualified. He's a photographer. He has skills, but the boy frustrated, no work. And his mother has to be supporting him, and she's struggling to support him and his sister, who is studying medicine in St. George's University in Grenada, and she's in her first year. So the mother is trying to find money now to pay for the daughter's tuition and so on. And she said she went to the Minister of Education, because the mother works in the Ministry of Education, to see what assistance she would be able to get, because they said that the University of St. George's is not gate funded. And when she went with the documentation with the daughter's tuition fees and all of the fees, and she handed it to the minister, she said, the minister said, you have money? And she was kind of thrown back. She's like, no, I don't have money. This is why I'm coming to see what it is the government has, what assistance the government. And I give her one such a long story and stuff. No help, right? Telling her about, I think he's supposed to be opening some tertiary institution in South or something or whatever. I don't know. But it is unfortunate. The last time we had a windfall in 2022 under the PNM, again, because we had a very prudent, some may say a tight-fisted Minister of Finance then, we were able to record the first budget surplus in 14 years. I don't anticipate that we would have a budget surplus this year, because this government is hell-bent on spending, and they're going to spend. As the money comes, they're going to spend to fool people, and fool people they will.
I see people saying to us, well, I saw a message here by somebody, and I just want to tell people, those of you who coming in and you may join us late, you can go back and listen to the interview, because some people saying they want to hear you talk about your constituency. We just had a whole discussion about that, and we can't labor on one thing right through. Somebody said, hey, I would like to hear how things going in the MP Romaine constituency. So as I said earlier on, you can go back and listen. You give an outline of what's going on, and I would have given him a suggestion of how he could deal with some of the things that he's faced with, especially with the children who are going to be home from school. All right. So Dominic, I was telling you on Monday? Yeah.
Yes.
Monday I was telling you that I had the trade union leader from the communication TSCT now. And she was saying, she was saying to me, she was saying to me, she was telling the listeners that back in 2010 to 2015, NGC was the feeding cow.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
No. TSTT is the feeding cow.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because she gives an example, and she talked about Flavor Village.
Yes.
And Flavor was totally sponsored by TSTT.
Mm-hmm.
And she talked about the money that was paid to artists. And they have written to the Freedom of Information to get the invoices.
Yes.
Because we know one artist who sing every night. Every night he was on the stage throwing water on people.
Correct.
Every night. So we want to know how much money he going and get. As a NCC board member. Because people used to beat up on Gypsy and say, as a chairman of NCC, you should not be competing or even getting money from the company or from NCC. But we see a director every night. That director was on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So while we might be watching how much money Marshall get, and Marshall say it, Marshall say only watching how much money I getting, how much money I was getting every night he was on the stage.
Correct.
You understand? So those are things that we keeping our eye on.
But interestingly, I saw today, was it yesterday, that Tuco, Trinidad and the TTCDA penned a joint letter to the Minister of Culture and Community Development in regards to this initiative that she had or is having, encouraging persons to come out and let's talk carnival and to make suggestions and so on how they could improve the carnival product going forward. And these three entities, which are the main entities responsible for carnival, wrote to the minister and told her basically, look, while this is a laudable initiative, we are unable at this time to be able to participate. One, because we are yet to receive prize monies. We are yet to receive our carnival allocations. So carnival has come and gone more than a month now, and we haven't received the prize monies to pay the winners of the various competitions. We have bills to pay and the like. And then it would have made sense for you to have consultations with us first before going out to the public.
Yeah.
So you had Flavor Village, and you would get the distinct impression, listening to this government, that Flavor, that was the highlight of carnival. You know, it had nothing else happening in Trinidad except Flavor, right? That was the success carnival. The yardstick for measuring carnival 2026 success was Flavor. There had over 300,000 people pass through, and but if everything is free, what do you expect? People couldn't afford to pay to go to some of these concerts, so you offer it for free and they must pass through. And that's the situation. But what is going on with monies? And this is a government that just does not, it seems they don't like to pay. They like to get people to do work and taking forever to pay. But rest assured, every month as clockwork, their money is not to sleep out. They getting paid. They getting paid early, right? 2 salaries. You're getting your salary as minister and your salary as member of parliament. So they're good. They're happy, right? When they came in last year, all they talk about the PNM crashed the economy and the PNM crashed the economy. But 1 month after you came into office, you had the mid-year review and allocated millions of dollars to pay yourselves back pay. Back pay that was derived from a pay increase that you also you didn't want, that you weren't interested in, that you found was obscene and was at that particular point in time unnecessary. But the PNM went ahead and they did it. They paid the political price. You all came in, you benefited from the pay increases and the back pay. You come and you allocate money in the mid-year review because you couldn't wait until October. No, you want your money and you want it now. And there were no non-cash options. They take all their back pay in cash. That is why all of them could be driving the vehicles that they're driving now and liking themselves. Meanwhile, the average citizen who is struggling, right? And all we have is a lights, camera, action government.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. You know, and we were talking just now about people getting their money. I want you to listen to this, Dominic. I heard this in the news this morning. So take a listen to this.
They attacked CPEP and replaced it with UPS, upkeep of public spaces. But that program has ended last week on Friday 13th. And tonight I can say without fear of contradiction, that program is no match for CPEP. It is chalk and cheese. And after the people have worked, we are hearing they are still not paid, while some CPEP contractors are still owed thousands of dollars. Imagine just workers who help clean our communities for Carnival are still waiting on their pay.
But Minister Amin is denying this. Yesterday she hit back at Mr. Austin and said it's just plain politics.
The workers have been getting paid. Because it is a pilot program, of course, there were hiccups in the administrative procedure, which we have sorted out. And we also expanded the program for the carnival period as well, where the workers would have worked for carnival, and we indicated to them that it would take about 2 to 3 weeks to process their pay after they finished working. And I noticed that there are certain P&M people who, in spite of the success of the program, are trying to rile up workers, indicating that they're getting paid late and those type of things, and that is not so.
The minister also said the opposition is desperate ahead of local government elections.
I know the PNM's back is against the wall. They have lost a general election. They are desperate. They are trying to hold on to the seats that they have for the upcoming local election. And so I'm seeing the desperation coming out of certain PNM corporations. Because if there's a challenge with workers getting paid, the chairman could reach out to me as minister to indicate a concern, and it will be sorted out and attended to. When they want certain things sorted out, they reach out to me personally, and I do attend to it. So this is pure politics, and to me this is an act of desperation by the PNM, and we will not be deterred. The program for the upkeep of public spaces has been successful across all regions.
Khadija Amin also said there has been an overwhelming response to the program, which has seen councillors in other regions wanting the program to expand to all corporations.
Dominic?
Sir.
Why?
Khadija Amin is playing smart with foolishness.
Right, 1. 2. Why is Miss Amin and why they can't tell the truth, boy?
Because
Dominic, you just said earlier on, you said to us earlier on this program that a young man is going to meet you in the morning to go to Kent's house to get him money.
Mm-hmm.
She is saying that if the chairman and they know that people ain't getting the money, they could reach out to her for her to give the chairman and them the money to the people. That the chairman and they don't have anything to do with that.
Correct.
Those people are not hired under TRC.
Nope.
They are hired. They were hired from Kent's house.
Mm-hmm.
What nonsense Khadija playing with? And talking.
I recall Josiah Austin, who we heard first in the clip, when this program would have started, particularly the one for Carnival. They made sure they put out a press release letting the people know that these persons are not hired under the corporation. The corporation has no responsibility when it comes to paying salaries or any emoluments to these persons, and that is the responsibility of the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. So that when it is the people don't get paid, and what would have prompted that is the experience from the PUPS program, because after 2 fortnights, 3 fortnights, no pay, it's only a sort of run around, and as Khadija said, well, I know there's some hiccups or whatever it is. But since December, and you all still have hiccups, people are going down to the ministry to find out what is going on with their money, and they're being told, well, they can't find the checks. How the heck you can't find several checks for people? That is madness. But yet still, the CPEP board is still in place. There is no CPEP, but you still have a board in place. And every month these directors are collecting their director's fee for doing what? Absolutely nothing. There is no entity for them to administrate. So why are we paying them again with taxpayers' money? And when you look at the money that you're paying these persons, how is it that you can organize every month to ensure that these salaries or these stipends or directors' fees are paid to the board members, but yet still you cannot put things in place to pay these people?
Dominic, you just tell this nation, you just tell people 769 people on our live. Mm-hmm. You just told 769 persons that CPEP board is in place.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
And there is no CPEP operational or operating in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, in Trinidad.
Correct.
All right, let me leave that there. Let me leave that there now because I will get vexed. I will start to talk loud. My neighbors and them go want to know why I get on so far because I'm supposed to get vexed to them kind of thing, and you know, just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Dominic, we go.
But you know, Google that one minister's salary for the month could have paid 45 CPAP workers for the month. One minister's salary. Ministerial salary plus their parliamentary salary could have paid 45 CPAP workers for the month. And when we look at the amount of ministers that we have that are unnecessary in that government, right? Because when under the last PNM administration, we know there were a number of MPs who did not have ministerial portfolio. And made the point, Roger Monroe didn't have ministerial portfolio. Kennedy Richards didn't have ministerial portfolio. For a time, Adrian Leons didn't have ministerial portfolio, right? In the Senate, several of our senators had no ministerial portfolios. People like when Ansel Dennis was there, Lawrence Hislop and these guys, they were not ministers. When you can't remember how you pronounce it properly, but all of these people in this government, every single member of the lower house, every one of them is either a minister in the ministry of, or parliamentary secretary. In the Senate, every single one of them, all 16 of them, save and except for Brian Baig, are all either ministers, parliamentary secretaries, or ministers in the ministry of. Kamala gave jobs to every single one of them, right? People like Philip Alexander and Anil Roberts. David Lee doesn't know what the hell is going on in his ministry. It seems as if Feroz Khan is the minister and David Lee is the side piece, and he just there as window dressing. But they are collecting money for doing what? Philip Alexander just on Facebook all day. Most of the time, if you want to see Philip Alexander, don't go to the Ministry of Housing. Go down to Westmall. And at any time of the day, and you're almost guaranteed to find him there. And that is what we are paying him for. To cost the PNM whole day, whole night. Doubles and coffee cost the PNM. David Nackett to do live and cost the PNM. And we paid him over $70,000 a month. That could have paid 35 to 45 CPAP workers for the month. And just because, and what value are we getting for that money? But they had a problem with Dr. Rowley and the PNM. I went to Tobago this morning, and I was so upset. When that plane lands, and it went down the runway all the way down, and I saw that brand new airport terminal in Tobago that is yet to open, right? Looking plenty better than Piarco. Piarco Airport don't want nothing with that Crown Point terminal. PNM built that. But they say PNM do nothing for Tobago. Rowley do nothing for Tobago. And all the complaints. I wish we could have picked up that airport and put it in Piarco and take Piarco and you can send across there. Right? Because clearly Tobago has no love for the PNM for all the things that they have done for them. But so many other things that were done, all the ferries that we bought and all of that, when they said we mash up the sea bridge and all these things. And yet still they rejected the PNM based on what? Propaganda, lies, old talk, stupid talk. But as we mentioned earlier, the PNM looked for that. Because if there's one thing we could learn from the UNC, one page we could take from their book, it is how to market yourself. And while the UNC knows full well how to push propaganda, the PNM had a track record that they could have sold to the population, let the people know this is what we did. And every time I hear the PNM do nothing, name 5 things the PNM do. Name 1 thing the PNM do. We used to be hearing that. And what used to get me upset is the fact that when I'm going on social media and I'm seeing UNC people asking this question, and most of the time PNM supporters cannot respond. And it's not their fault. Because while the UNC was having Monday night forum, Monday after Monday after Monday, we in the PNM used to be getting stiff-necked looking for a blue moon because we haven't meeting once in a blue moon. I don't understand. I could never understand that strategy. Because we were perhaps thinking that, well, the population know the UNC corrupt and they know damn good. And if you put them in office, what you'll expect?
But Dominic, another page that we need to look at, but not just take from the book, but we need to sit down and read the page. I want you to listen to me carefully. We need not just to take a page from that book. Because you see the page that you said that they need to take from, or they should have taken from, which is, let's roll it out for the people. I used to rattle it off like a poem. Here how the poem does go. Sunday, press conference. They used to have a press conference on a Sunday, and that press conference will be in the major news, 12 o'clock news on all the major radio and TV stations. 7 o'clock news. Monday morning news. Monday night forum. So they dominated the news from Sunday. Monday night. They had the Monday night forum, which goes into Tuesday. You hear me? Because they could create some bacchanal Monday night and they dominate the news on the Monday night. Into Tuesday. Right? Yes. Wednesday they take a rest. Thursday they used to have pavement report.
Yes.
And?
Correct.
And when they take the Friday and the Saturday they rest. And they come back again and jam your Sunday with a press conference. Monday night forum. Take a rest the Tuesday. Come up and prepare the Wednesday for Thursday pavement report. Hit you back again Sunday. Come on. They had a routine. They had a plan of how to bomb. And then now for the put the icing on the cake. When it come down to the election, they pay all the social media influencers. Yellow is the code, yellow is the code, yellow is the code, yellow is the code, yellow is the code. They bombard social media with that. And when they're done with that, let me hit you the real one now. When they're done with that, you know what they do? You know what they did? They take all the frontliners, people who were in the front line like Heavy and Kingsley and Ground Report and all of them. Take them, put them in the state media and have taxpayers paying them to talk crap and rubbish and nonsense with your taxpaying dollars that you're going to start to pay rental tax. You're going to start to pay more on NIS. You're going to start. We really want to go down that road, Dominic? And half of them not even qualified to hold a microphone to talk to you. Listen how Kingsley does talk. And he on radio collecting must close to how much thousands of dollars.
Yes.
And when we in office, here we just say, we don't want to turn the state media into a mouthpiece for the People's National Movement.
Yes, we are held to a higher standard. That standard cut in our teeth.
Oh gosh! Let us cut it with tail. Let us cut it with tail. Dominic, let me be real here now. Let me talk the things now. Dominic, them didn't wait 2 years to hire Kingsley to let him have a little dust for 3 years, you know. Kingsley, Heavy, all of them start to work early in the term, you know. They are in the first year.
Yeah, but what do you expect when you put Mikey K as the chairman of TTT and you put Andy Williams as the vice chairman and you have Miss Santa Cruz and Amunsami as a director? All of them, UNC mouthpieces, you reward them for all years of talking because guess what? Mikey K getting a director fee, Andy Williams getting director fee, and Anna Munsami and the rest of them getting director's fee. And then you have Lennox Smith and Andy Williams on the morning on the underground report that they revive. So they have found creative ways to use public monies to pay their mouthpieces, which is, to me, that is obscene in the extreme. But they don't care because you know why? They know that the supporters will come out and defend that. And we in the PNM, we will grumble a little bit. And we will call the radio station and once or twice and we will grumble a little bit. And then that is that. You know what the UNC would have do? Ram Logan would have get his lucky Ravi Balgobin Maharaj and they would have done take the government to court already. Right?
Wow.
So to challenge that.
Yeah.
Where are our lawyers? Right? Where are our good lawyers to step forward and say, no, we're going and challenge this. UNC that listen. That they know how to play that game very well. And they don't care because in their first incarnation, 2010 to 2015, they did it. They had the underground report. You remember Marcia Brave Boy?
Yes.
Yeah, she used to come on after and say the worst of things about Dr. Rowley, all kind of names she called Dr. Rowley and all these kind of things. But they're doing it again.
Yeah. When
they had Ken Ali was in charge of PTT and then they came out with the Voice newspaper and then they had the program Voices, Your Government Working for You. If they commission a standpipe, they pave, if they patch a road, you have to know everything. Now look at Sweet 100. Used to just play music and you had a little talk amongst the hosts and them. Now Sweet 100 has also become an echo chamber for the UNC. All kind of ads. If Tamla gave a speech, they had to play that on Sweet 100. That was never so before.
You lie.
I listened because the two stations I listened to now is 95 and Sweet 100, but I never used to hear that before on Sweet 100. Everything is every minute in between music. Kamla, she gave a speech, they had to play that about 10 times in the space of an hour, right? Go set up government ads and so on. And that is what they're doing. And turn state media into their mouthpiece. Look at the morning show, they fire these people, Rockers and Discale and all of them who used to be there. No. That is just basically the morning show, the talk show for government ministers. So you have something, go there and talk and bump your
Wow.
Same thing with the radio stations. It is crazy. And it's how these people get
state owned. It is state owned. I don't think people understand it is state owned.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is state owned, and listen to me, if it is state owned, Dominic, why don't they broadcast what is happening? Why don't they bring the opposition press conference?
They will not.
Why?
Because as you said, it's a government mouthpiece. They're not going to bring anything there to challenge what the government is saying. As far as they're concerned, that our press conferences to them is a waste of time, and that we just maligning the government, and they will not use government resources to promote that.
Wow.
So the only traction we will get is when the media decides to pick up a few sound bites from what is said, and for those who would go on and view the press conference live. But otherwise, that's it. So, what recourse do we have? How do we battle that? Because they are making sure that the message gets out. Imagine TTT online on Facebook. They're reposting things from months ago. It's like, crazy. You tell me today you reposting some speech Kamala gave 2 months ago or something that they commissioned 3 months ago. So they just keep regurgitating news to promote the government. And nobody's saying anything about that. Where all the men and women have letters who love to write to the newspaper and send letters to the editor and all that when the PNM was in power to complain about the simplest of things. Ralph Maraj maligned Dr. Rowley and Imbut for 10 years. Every Sunday he writes in the newspaper talking about Petrotrin, Sin and Dr. Rowley, and he tell them about diversification and this. Where is he today? Well, he eating a food too as ambassador, CARICOM ambassador. And all of the things that Kamala has done since she has become Prime Minister with respect to CARICOM, if Dr. Rowley had done 1/10 of that, Ralph Maraj would have raked him over the coals. But he had nothing to say about Kamala. Every time she makes a gaffe, what he will do, he will come and talk about the Petrotrin refinery. You write an article about the Petrotrin refinery to distract. But
brother, let me play this video for you. Take a look at this video. And I want you to listen to the video, Dominic. Take a listen to this video.
I'm telling you, Aisha. Masonry, a driver. That's all.
No, before you work CPEP. Yeah, CPEP we used to work. And since you closed down, but we went on to get a call here in ministry. Yeah.
And we are in a public area.
No.
We are not in a public area.
I am letting
I'm
you know.
not
This
inside your
is
room.
not a public area. No. Anybody who crosses to come into this facility, because we are engaging in this exercise, it becomes a Ministry of Works and Infrastructure exercise. And I am imploring you all, please don't give any media coverage until our minister is prepared to make a public statement on it.
So is this a enclosed
This is not an enclosed drive. This is phase 2 of the National Recruitment Drive.
And we've covered this before. So
And
what is different about this
what
one?
is different? There's nothing different.
Exactly.
It is just that we are not prepared to give this media coverage just yet because this phase 2 has only commenced today, and we have to do another session this afternoon, and then we are going to do another session sometime in the future when it's all no. Just get me just
we invited to
and
cover the first
correct.
phase,
So
and the minister spoke to us
correct.
about it.
So what I'm
trying to
letting you
find out
know,
is what
there's
is the
nothing
difference.
different.
Okay.
What I'm trying to tell you is when we have completed the exercise, media will be invited on that last day, and minister and hopefully our prime minister will be here.
Okay, so I'll tell you something, Mr. Abdul. Wherever the public is allowed to be, in public places, the media is allowed to be because it's a public interest issue.
This is agreed, but
Right,
I think in all fairness, the media is not a law unto themselves, and you all should have communicated
The
with
media
our
has a
co-op-com
responsibility.
unit, my dear. Just get me correct. You all needed to communicate with our co-op-com and indicate your interest in covering this issue. So, if I will employ you, please cease and desist from giving the media any information. Thank you very much.
Don't worry, we'll put that on air. So, you see, when the story goes, right, and Ms. Javi's on comment tonight saying that it makes things look as if it's a we always come in peace. We always.
Dominic? Oh, Dominic.
Yes, sir.
You saw that?
I did.
You heard that?
Yep. Now, my only question is, all of these people who are there, how did they know to come down there?
I didn't even know that was happening.
That's what I'm saying. So how did these people know to go there?
Wow. You hear the woman talk?
Yes.
Wow.
So this is the second phase. Nobody has spoken about this. The minister hasn't spoken about this. The prime minister hasn't spoken about this. No one has spoken about it, about this second phase, and people would want to know. So is this the second phase of the first phase? So is it that you went and you submit whatever it is, and then you come now to go to the second stage? Or is this a second phase of recruitment where you come with your documents for the first time and you go through? I don't know. And that's the unfortunate, and the reporter is correct. It is a public space, right? And therefore the media has every right to come there and to cover it. You don't need no permission from COPCOM and all kind of nonsense. But I learned today that what is happening is that the UNC is using they are providing employment for shadow MPs and shadow councillors and so on, right? So you're bypassing the legitimate representatives, the elected representatives who themselves are looking for work for their burgesses and their constituents. You're not giving it to them, but then you're bringing these shadow MPs and shadow councillors and telling them bring names, and we will get work for you. And then these councillors, shadows, going out there now and highlighting and posting up pictures on their social media platforms and saying, look how they're helping and they're doing this. They have access to resources, to ministry resources to fix roads and all of these things that the bona fides do not have. And that could never be right. These are things that should be challenged in the court of law because these people have not been elected. They have no elected office, and therefore, on what basis are they going out there and accessing state resources to be doing the work that the people who were elected and who getting paid to do the work can't access? And again, I said, if it was the PNM had been doing that, these UNC lawyers would have already come out in full force to take the matter to court and challenge it. We are all lawyers.
I should have Pastor Mackenzie on. But he does say he's a PNM and he's a lawyer. Next time? Wait, say next time?
I agree, yes.
Next time you bringing him on and you go blaze him?
Of course, bring him.
Right. I will bring Papa on and you go blaze him. Because he does say he's a PNM.
Yeah.
He's a PNM.
Fall Street used to say that too.
Oh gosh, you really go in there, boy? You really jump. You really do that, Dominic, boy? You throw in that in the mix, boy?
Mr. Bogus Statistics.
Well, you know you have a big program now.
Yeah. He's the UNC's biggest mouthpiece.
Yeah, you have a big program now.
Kamala's biggest defender. But you know, I have to make this point, right? For the last, how many years, Google? I have been making the point. The UNC talk about the 1% and the 1% and how the PNM in the back pocket are the 1% and all of these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Faris and how they're renting Faris building and all of this nonsense and how much money going in Faris pocket and how much rent Faris and his family collecting every month and every year. And
they're still renting that building, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The head office of the Ministry of the People and Social Development, 2 buildings, in fact, on St. Vincent Street. The head office and the other one are both occupied, both buildings belong to Faris and his in-laws, right? Now, the PNM was constructing a brand new state-of-the-art building at the corner of Chadridge Road and Victoria Avenue, right, where the government printery used to be, right? This massive building that was going up there, a piece. I mean, the speed at which that construction was taking place was blow mind. And that was supposed to be the headquarters of the Ministry of Social Development. So all those buildings that they were complaining about at Faris own and so on, all of those offices were supposed to move out from those rented accommodation to go into state-owned accommodation and save millions of dollars in rent, and all the little offices and departments that they have all around Port of Spain would have been housed in that building as well. This government has put a halt on construction of that building. When we asked them about it in the budget during the Standing Finance Committee, they said that it was under review, right? So construction has all but halted on that building. But there's a blue glass building at the bottom of Independence Square and Abercrombie Street, which used to house customs for many, many years.
Yes.
Yes, until the PNM constructed the government campus and they gave customs their own state-owned building on Ajax Street next to the Board of Inland Revenue. Right. So imagine my surprise when I'm driving today, heading up Abercrombie Street, and I saw people going into this blue glass building. For the last 8 to 9 years, there was a sign on the door for rent. Guess what? The sign has come down.
The owner of that building is not the owner of Nicholas Towers?
His son Nicholas, correct, and his son George Nicholas, who under the UNC People's Partnership was the chairman of Caribbean Airlines. And I told people that, I said, watch and see. Put them in office and look, and you will see that sign, that for rent sign would come down. So said, so done. But the PNM in the back pocket are the 1%. The Rowley say the rich must get richer. Who really making the rich richer? Because for the 8-9 years under the PNM, that building was unoccupied. No rent. But today, back in business.
Wow, Dominic. Wow. I have to watch that. I had to watch that. I'm going to show you a video, Dominic. Take a look at this video. It's just a touch on something you talk about with shadow MPs.
Yeah.
Take a look at this.
What I'm saying is, you come and get anything done here? That's what I want to do. You come and get anything done here? I'm disappointed in here, boy. Don't come here for no optics. Do not come here for no optics, boy. Don't come here for no optics.
You heard that? Dominic? Oh, Dominic. That is Macamillion. Coming in.
Yes.
That is Macamillion. Coming in Pleasantville to talk about Burst Wassa line. That the MP office. I was there the day when the MP office called Wassa. And Wassa came and fixed that line. That's in my community. And he had a young man telling him, don't come here for no optics, brother man. Don't come here for no optics, because at the end of the day, that young man know, because that is the young man the office lays with to find out if Wassa came and fixed the line. So the young man know that Macamillion didn't do have nothing to do with that.
Yes.
And that is what he is. He's the shadow MP for San Fernando East.
Correct. And I understand he is one of those who is being fed, who is being given the opportunity to bring names to provide employment for people.
Well, Yana, I have a video clip with him, with the fellas and them asking him not to know. I have a video clip with him. He went to check out a man who home got burned down. And when he finished check the man, he had the young people and them telling him, so when we can check it to go for the little walk by?
Yeah.
They forget to take off the camera.
Yeah.
So I was telling you earlier on, Dominic, that the commissioner responded to Gary Griffith.
Right.
Take a listen. I have it here.
It is unfortunate that former commissioner of police continues to project his own political aspirations onto others. His repeated attempts at elected office have been rejected time and time again by the population. And that is a matter of public record. They don't want you. I think he actually lost his deposit. I will not be drawn into his personal grievances or his attempts to remain relevant through attacking the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Guevara accused Griffith of leaving the police service with hundreds of millions in dollars in debt and a series of administrative problems. He argued that in his 9 months as commissioner, the country has recorded major improvements in public safety, including a significant reduction in homicides and lower serious crime figures during the carnival season.
Dominic? You hear that? You hear the commissioner say, I think he lost his deposit. He was rejected. What is this?
This commissioner has shown himself to be a colossal disappointment.
But Dominic, he could, let me tell you something. Dominic, I don't care if you don't want to say it or no, but I go say it. Dominic, we have heard a man on the radio say for years he don't vote.
Yes.
But received a chairman appointment for a board. He is a chairman of a board. Now listen, and preach for years. I don't vote. I don't believe in the politics. I don't believe in this. None of them deserve my vote. But you take a ball appointment from them.
Of course.
Dominic. So the
commissioner said the same thing on I-95. He said he has never voted in his life, and he has absolutely no intentions of ever voting, and therefore that makes him apolitical.
Lie.
and perhaps something to the effect that if there's the belief that if he does well, that is going to affect the PNM's chances at the polls.
Wow. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Not because you don't vote means that you don't support a political entity, eh?
Exactly.
Let me tell you why I say that. This commissioner has shown that he supports a political entity. The first mistake he made was to call the SOE.
Right.
The second mistake he made was to sit down and to say that he supports the stand your ground laws.
Mm-hmm.
The third mistake he made was to stand up in front of camera and say that the radar detected the drugs in the Caroni swamp. So this commissioner can't fool me. He could fool you. He could fool people like you. Well, not me. Not me at all. Commissioner, your petticoat showing. And it look yellow.
Remember, Fali had said, Ula had Balize bloomers.
Hey, look at that, eh? Fali say that. And nobody crucify him for it. Dr. Oli call Miss Misasa and Jamet, and everybody want to kill him. They want to destroy him for it.
But these UNC hypocrites, and I will always call them that. And, as someone told me the other day, you have to remember that you're an MP, and therefore you have to see after the needs of all of your constituents, regardless of their political persuasion. And I say, when people come to see me in my office, I don't ask them, are you PNM? Are you UNC? You vote for me? Right? That is not a question, and they are not required to put that on the document. So regardless, I do my work as an MP to serve the entire constituency. But I will, as a member of the opposition, and given the practices of members of the government, and when they were in opposition, that they had no qualms in saying some of the worst things about PNM. And I am of the view, and I will say it, the fully dunce, right? Hypocrites in the UNC who want to chastise Dr. Rowley for using the term Jamet to describe Mrs. Prasad Bissasa's behavior, when Mrs. Prasad Bissasa herself, and they're talking about respect, and she's the Prime Minister, and even if you don't respect the individual, respect the office. When Mrs. Prasad Bissasa called Dr. Rowley a donkey fool, when he was Prime Minister, where was the respect for the office? When Padarat called Dr. Rowley a lazy SOB, right? Where was the respect? And he did it on more than one occasion. Where was the respect? And he was Prime Minister. So these hypocrites who want to come now and complain.
Yes, Barry Padarat called Dr. Rowley a female dog.
Yes.
He really didn't true. Repeatedly. What about Ansel Roger was the first one to do it, and yes, Padarat took correct. Off. Padarat took after Roger.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So they could rock so with the hypocrisy, right? Shucks.
Well, yeah, now. So I was telling you earlier on about a young man that Roger Alexander signed off the document on to be arrested. You tell me you didn't hear about it. So that
I just read it briefly. I heard it on the news, I think on I-95, but but I didn't really get the full details of it.
All right, well, take a listen to this.
The parents of 16-year-old Jalen George insist he's innocent. Yet tonight, he remains locked up under a state of emergency order signed by his very own member of parliament.
They argue that the Form 3 student hasn't been charged and fear the detention is taking a toll on his mental health. Jensen Levend reports.
16-year-old Jalen George will celebrate his golden birthday locked up at the Youth Training and Rehabilitation Center after his Member of Parliament and Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander signed his preventive detention order on March 16th.
He is young, he's only 16 years. May he could be 17. So therefore my son have to spend his 17th birthday. And the intention, he haven't been charged. So why being there if he not being charged? If he was charged, then we could have said, well, yeah, under the SOE, but he's not charged.
Ward says his son, a Form 3 student of the St. Joseph Secondary School, was arrested on March 7th and spent 9 days at the Mausica St. Joseph Police Station before he was taken to the youth center for the duration of the state of emergency. According to the PDO, Jalen was identified as a member of the Rasa City gang. He is an alleged shooter of the gang and is plotting to carry out shootings against rival gangs. His parents, however, vehemently deny his involvement in any criminal activities.
My son don't be involved in nothing, right? At the end of the day, my son is 16 years. He have some friends that are 16, 17 years who he does line with, right? And that is all my son is line with. And not to say my son does go out there and do anything. My son don't go out there and do anything. That's what I know for sure. Me talking here because I talking because it's the truth what I tell him, right? It may have things that people may say about my son. They can't prove what they say about my son.
Prison officials say Jalen is the second minor to be held under a state of emergency. The first was during the previous state of emergency. His mother, Liselis George, who shares a birthday with her son, says she's trusting God to help her cope while he is detained.
I don't want to think about it, but it's sad. And it's hard. I don't want to break down for you. I want to be strong. You understand? But what is good?
Ward says he's concerned about his child's mental health while in detention.
So, I don't know. I just want my son to come home. He could go to school. He could finish what he had to do for the education. Like my son was being there, it played with his mental.
His parents are concerned that he will fall behind in school as he will be missing end-of-term exams. Calls and messages to Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander on minors being detained went unanswered up to news time. Jensen Lavend, CNC3 News.
Dominic, you there?
Yes, sir.
What is your view?
Hi, boy.
All I waiting for, yeah, what I waiting for? A few minutes later. If a few minutes later don't come before the end of this week or next week, then that youth man, let me tell you something. Let me be real, Dominic. When them youth men and them on the follies and on the nonsense, and parents come out and say, oh, my child is a good boy, whatever, people that have videos and of them on nonsense. Remember, most of them just come out with a shotgun. It must have a picture with him holding a rifle. Somebody gun, somebody thing. He must, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They just have a slip up. They just have a slip up moment, you know.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
But it's how quick the member of parliament ready to send you down already got her. Your member of parliament even say, well, oh gosh, let me investigate it. Nothing, boy? Really interesting. So it's left to see.
Yes.
It's left to see where this will go. It's left to see where a community center is our center.
It's a center for the
community. It's left to see where that will go. It's left to see where that will go. The one last thing I want to play before we take some calls. I have another video here. I want to play for you. Here now, the UNC, that is why Miss Bissessa not talking as frequent as she used to, you know, Dominic. Because it does be a colossal embarrassment when you pull back a clip with them saying something.
Yes.
It does look stupid, you know.
You should see her face when we point out these things in the parliament.
What she does do?
Remind her of the things she said.
What
she just crouched down in the couch with this dotish grin on her face. She had no response.
Oh gosh. serious?
Yeah. No response.
Wow.
Just some minions all around her who's come to her defense.
Take a listen to this one, Dominic. Take a listen. Winston just threw them under the bus. Dominic, Winston, I feel Winston want to resign you, okay? Between me and you. I feel Winston ready to get to throw the towel. Listen to this one, Dominic.
He ain't going back.
You know that?
But the man tell me that.
Oh, okay.
The man say he prefer to be in the courtroom where he could get on bad. This parliament thing is not for he.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah.
Well, take a listen to this.
Welcome back. Former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is tonight insisting that the radar installed in Tobago was intended solely for the removal of Nicolas Maduro and not to address Trinidad and Tobago's crime problem.
On the one-year anniversary since leaving office, Dr. Rowley told CNC3 News that recent developments have exposed what he described as the country's true crime plan, and he is warning that citizens should prepare for a situation where the rule of law will be set aside.
Akash Samaru and Timothy Shasto have more.
While we still wait on the Prime Minister to speak on why the U.S. military has removed its high-tech radar, a former Prime Minister says the evidence shows that the controversial equipment is gone because it has already served its real purpose.
They have got what they wanted out of Venezuela. They now speak of high praise of the Venezuelan government and the corporation in Venezuela. Maduro is in jail in New York, and Trinidad and Tobago is here talking a lot of foolishness about we having solved crime in Trinidad and Tobago, but the American radar, I'm sure they're laughing at us.
And Dr. Rowley is adamant that the Prime Minister has to come before the nation to explain why this piece of equipment that was hailed as an effective crime-fighting asset is now gone.
Because if we get such great benefit, that 42% of murders have gone down because of the US being here on radar, why are they going? Don't you want to get to zero?
But Dr. Rowley claims that one thing is clear. He believes Kamala Persad-Bissessar has unveiled her government's crime plan by signing the Doral Charter. The former Prime Minister believes the crime plan is to now follow the US model of shoot first without following due process on sea and on land.
If it is that our Attorney General on our behalf and our Prime Minister on our behalf accepting that this war that we are in, it is okay to kill people on the ocean on suspicion. Isn't it easier to kill people on land?
Dr. Rowley said if the Prime Minister is prepared to follow her US allies, then local law enforcement will take pattern.
That is a clear inducement for our security services to kill people on land. And you know who know that? You know who know that? The United States.
Dr. Rowley said the government cannot continue to hide on matters of national security. We reached out to the Prime Minister regarding Dr. Rowley's claims, but she would only respond, "What's new?" Akash Samaru, CNC3 News.
Yes, sir.
We have to see.
But you never had a dull moment in this country, you know? Oh my goodness.
Never a dull moment is right.
Never. Never, you know. You can't get a moment's rest with these people.
Never a dull moment is right. So I play this one more, and then we're going straight to the phone lines. Take a listen to this, Dominic. Take a listen to your partner.
Journalistic principles, integrity, impartiality, bias, actual bias, apparent bias. These are very important principles and uphold the backbone of the fourth estate in any country. And once you breach those principles, your trust, the trust that you're supposed to have from the people, the citizens, because a media house is not supposed to be politically biased, supposed to be impartial. Let's check it out. Because a media house is not supposed to be politically biased, supposed to be impartial. Let's check it out.
Hey, you don't know. It's a boy video channel. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm back. And I'm back on 91.1 Talk City from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow. Look out for me. We're going to talk bread and butter issues. We're going to talk about all what's happening right now in the country. We're going to talk about his tickets. We're going to talk about the licensing office. We're going to talk about everything you want to talk about. Call me tomorrow. I'm on from 3 p.m. Yes, all you. Call me tomorrow. I'm back on radio. Yes, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Talk City 91.1. Yes, I'm going to give out the numbers tomorrow, so call in. I want everybody listening. I want everybody who listen to me, who locked on to me, who following me, all my followers, all my listeners, all them come out tomorrow or outside tomorrow on Talk City 91.1. Come out, right? Come out, put on your radio, lock it in, listen. Right? We go down and deal with everything that you want to hear and what you want me to say. You don't know. Your boy Heavy coming out tomorrow on Talk City 91.1 FM. I'm back. Yeah.
A media house is not supposed to be politically biased, supposed to be impartial. Let's check it out.
Jackie, as you can see, this is the contract here, as you can see. This is the money sign here. This is the figure. It will be excited. It will be excited. It will be excited. And please look out for me on 91.1 January 5th. I'm a UNC, so I don't know. I'm going to promote my part.
Because a media house is not supposed to be politically biased, supposed to be impartial. Let's check it.
Don't forget, for the new year, the first Monday in the new year, which will be Monday the 5th of January 2026. The Ground Report will be back mainstream, both radio and television. So you all can let your maxi taxi drivers, all our fallen soldiers that was trying to get back onto us, let them know. So they're going to look on to Talk City 91.1 from next year, the first Monday in the new year.
Because a media house is not supposed to be politically biased, supposed to be impartial. Let's check it out. On top of that, Matt, so anybody could just turn on a camera like this, a smartphone, and them is a joke.
Yeah. You should send that to him.
You are your number? Me do your number now?
But have a thing going around with the man number, but you see it on Facebook where he was chatting up a young girl, offering her.
Well, he said that is not true. He said that is not true. That is not him.
Of course, he will see that.
And then, well, we friend Rhoda would have a pot. Well, I hear she might be expecting a reaction. So, right, let's take some calls, 464-7003, 464-7003. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good night.
Good evening.
Dominic Romaine.
Hey, fix your voice. Hey, fix your voice.
I'm going to put my man voice. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Pastor Google, for the last 9 years when all was on Talk City, spreading all the propaganda and lies. Why you fight long heavy duty and my boy Kingsley and the Ground Report? All there was this
for 9 years.
And lies.
For 9 years.
Well, all I get
for 9 years. Wait, bro, that's not for 9 years. Wait, now for 9 years.
Not 9 years.
All right. Well, you just said 9 years. You just said 9 years now. So I would correct you.
Sorry, me clarify myself. The girl Jacobo Sweat. You're talking about that bright educated man, the Muslim man. We name that again, David Mohammed. David Mohammed is an educated black man. All never seen fit to give him a position at all the court. All the like black people now.
You know that?
All defending black people now.
You know that for a fact that the PADM never offered him a position on a state board.
I never. Did
you? Do you know? Wait, listen to this. Listen to me. Listen to the question again. Do you know for a fact that the PNM never offered David Mohammed a state board position.
Nah, you know, tell me, you go talk about it, I'll call him and ask him.
Okay.
Why he didn't grab it?
Okay, then. I asked
So
you a question,
I listened to Dominic just now. He said the minister, from Grandy. At the end of the day, all them politicians want to know. I witnessed that and said that my two eyes, I see Dominic Smith and Van Damme with all them walking together, I not fighting for politicians, because all of them going on and in the tea room, drink big, eat big, and come out here and laugh at the citizens out there. But I rather prefer the UNC than the PNM, because the PNM is only full black people.
So let me ask you something. You get through?
I must get through the better God. I scared, I have to live. I'm a fighter.
So you get through. That's why you call. So wait, just now. So you get through. That's why you call now to talk your rhetoric.
Me get through.
No, you just say you get through. You just said you get through. You just said. You have any question? Do you have any question for Dominic Romaine?
Oh, Dominic, what going on? I see you put my boy with the gang brothers and I look careful, likes.
If I need likes, you rest assured you are not the person I would go to for that.
You ain't blind for white Kingsley?
Excuse me?
All right. Let me get some seriousness now. Yeah, let me get some seriousness. Hello, good evening, caller.
Let me just respond to one thing.
Good evening, Pastor Google.
All right, hold on, caller. Yes, yeah, Dominic.
This point that he made just now about politicians going on in the tea room and eating and drinking big food and stuff, and let me tell him that, and I've said it before in my program. We do not have that relationship with the government. When we go to the members' lounge, we sit on one half of the room, they sit on the other half. I have been in Parliament for 10.5 months, and there are still members of the government that I have never spoken to. Right? So, if you all believe that, we only pick up that from that. Yeah, they'll still be laughing and think, yeah, you have one or two of them who we speak to. But for the most part, that does not exist. So that exists in only mind. But we know that relationship. We actually have members who sit on the opposition bench who absolutely refuse to go to the members' lounge when it's tea time to sit with those guys on the other side. All right, so disabuse yourself for that, please. That do exist.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening, caller.
Yes, good evening, Pastor Google. Good evening to my Member of Parliament for Malabar, Mausica.
Greetings.
The Honorable Dominic Romaine. Here is not Pastor Google. No, at least Dominic did correct what I was about to say. With it? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We listening to you.
Yeah. I want to say that that thing that KFC coming and talking about 9 years, and that's not 9 years here, boss man. Right? At the end of the day, the country voted for a party that they thought would have saved this country, because you remember under the PNM, we were suffering, we was hungry. So already didn't care about nobody, but laughing at we. So we put our government now, and almost a year, going into a year next month, or they have so much of SOE, and yet still we have 87 murders in the first 77 days of the year. So you have 10 more murders than the actual days in the year, and you're telling me in my face that the crime or the homicide statistics has dropped at 42%. No, let me make it make sense. And it's have a lot of unrelated crimes that the media is not reporting. People have to rely on social media to get the actual figures, the facts, everything. So we all know that TDT is UNC station right now. Everything on that station is about UNC. They're not promoting nothing about national or state. I think it's about UNC. From in the morning, 6 a.m. in the morning, until 1 o'clock in the night,
Talk City 91.1, and as what MP Romaine has said, I am also an avid listener 100, 100, right? And from since when this government assumed office last year, they are infiltrating Sweet 100 with all their UNC propaganda and try to peddle the lies to the public. So yes, they're trying to infiltrate Sweet 100 and they're sidelining 99.1, next 99.1, because all level stations are affiliated with TDT. That is why they would have cancelled the pavement line for Carnival last month, because they realized that it's a PNM thing, and the promoters are PNM, that would they look at it. So TDT now become a UNC playground. Right? So it's sad to say, but the people in the country right now, election have consequences. And this is the end result we get when people decide that they visit Dr. Rowley and they visit the PNM and they didn't get what they want, and this is the result. So, all we do is just a call on the Father to save this country, because right now this country is going to a rabbit hole of no return. You understand? And the 13 MPs we have there in the opposition, they're fighting the fight, but you know what I mean? It's 26 to 20. It's 28 to 13. So that's our battle. So you know what? I'm going to go support whatever they're doing in the government. So people, what I could say is just hope and pray.
Yeah, man.
That's what I could say, because right now this country, I don't know where it's going right now under this according to Dr. Rowley, this Jamet. All right, good program. Locked on and listening.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so just letting you all know that we taking your calls, but you want us to make space for others who are going to try to get in.
Good night to you, Pastor Google, and special good night to you, MP Dominic Romaine. I'm listening to the program tonight. It's not that I have not been listening before, but as Pastor Gubago will know, I only come on here when I am led to speak. And I'm dealing with the topic that was mentioned, where you all, I'm talking about the opposition being very instrumental in the hand of God, where this nation is at this place, this era, this time, and I want to endorse that the body of Christ should get physically involved in taking care of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, especially in Trinidad. I want to say that the word of God said that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. The world and all that dwells therein. That is number one. 2, Jesus himself in the scriptures, in the Bible, made mention the poor we will always have with us. Next is the Beatitudes in the book of Matthew. First book in the New Testament speak about blessed are the poor. So I am saying here tonight that to all who are listening, and I hope that the message will go through to many who are not on tonight, that once you have a God consciousness about you and you could contribute in any way, I believe beyond the shadow of a doubt, the Spirit of God is lead us into all truth and righteousness. You will find the true way of ministering, of feeding, of clothing, whatever the Lord will have you to do. And I'm crying out to those who believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Get up and begin to do what God would have you to do. whatever you put your hand to, it shall prosper. If you put your hand to evil, it will prosper evil. But if you put your hand to good, with a heart of thanksgiving to God, with a gratefulness, God is going to prosper your life with much good, with very good, with bounty, with prosperity for good, with blessings that make you rich and add no sorrow. I only love to talk from the Spirit of God. I only love to quote scripture because, Dominic, you, Pastor Google, and all the rest of those in the opposition, you all are in the marketplace. And as I shared before, the marketplace anointing is not like the church anointing. There is too much more warfare there. And so I'm calling on intercessors again and again and again. I'm not talking about people who just pray, I'm talking about people who intercedes. They understand by the Spirit of God what it is going on in our nation, and is before Father to hear what He has to say, and to not only hear, but to be a doer also. God bless you all richly. Hats off to you, Dominic. You're doing a good.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Shalom.
You're live?
Okay, no problem.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes, good night, caller. First time caller.
Yes, caller. Where are you calling me from?
Arima.
Arima.
Mr Dominic Romaine Constituency.
All right. You need to talk up, though. You're not hearing it too clearly.
I'm calling from the constituency of Malabar, Mausica.
All right, sir. First time caller?
Yes, first time caller.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Malabar, Mausica?
Yes, go ahead, caller. We're hearing you. Yeah. Dominic, you hearing him?
Yes, sir. My little contribution is basically to add that the UNC continue to run under the algorithms of what they did in 2010 to 2015. They use that, they have the data, they have the know-how, and they have revamped the way how they do things. The problem with the PNM is that social media, especially programs like yours, programs like what Mr. Romaine has, it is not spread on a wider level to reach the youths, to reach the wider population. The UNC used a situation of persons who would not know about the politics of 2010 and their era that they ran before, and they understood that dynamics. So you find persons who were the age of 10 or 15 at the time, 10 years later, became 20 and 25 years old, and ran into the propaganda of not have a full appreciation of equal programs, understanding the economy, according to Mr. Romaine MP, spreading the gospel of the PNM and articulating that they do things and not broadcasting things, Monday night forums and all these type of things. Right now, we have to find a way to be able, outside of your program, social media, Mr. Romaine's program, MP Romaine's program, to find ways to be able to spread and the message of things that is really ad hoc to the way life is supposed to be for young persons in Trinidad and Tobago. But they have developed a way that understand that the algorithms of social media needs to be enhanced, and the messaging is supposed to be more direct, and we need to find a way to spread it, because not everybody is going to be out at 10 o'clock at night listening to your program, or on a Sunday listening to Mr. or MP Romaine. We have to find different ways and mechanisms to be able to spread the message and have an understanding where social media is concerned. And that's my contribution to that.
All right, Dominic, what do you think about his contribution?
Spot on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so we continue to take your calls. 464-7003, 464-7003. All right, we have a caller, a foreign caller, Dominic, a foreign caller. Hello, good evening.
Pastor Gogo, good evening. And Mr. Romaine, good evening, Mr. Romaine.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
I want you guys on the opposition side in the parliament to keep the government on their toes. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to hold them on their toes. Let them account to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And to Dr. Rowley, so thank you for saying what you said yesterday. And we would like you, Dr. Rowley, if you're listening, to keep us informed a little more regular. Although you're out of office, but as you said, you're still a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. Because this present Prime Minister is not saying anything to anyone. So it's up to you to let us know, since you were there before, what's going on. That's what I got to say. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So the lines are free. 464-7003. 464-7003. Dominic. All right. We have a caller. Hello. Good evening.
Good night, Pastor Google.
Hi. Good evening, sir.
Good afternoon to you and the good MP, Mr. Romaine. Pastor Google, I want to talk about two quick things briefly tonight. I am in total support with that last caller said. PNM, one of PNM downfalls or Achilles heel, so to speak, is that PNM has built Trinidad and Tobago from the great Dr. Eric Williams to the great Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. PNM has done so much for this country, and PNM's downfall is that we do not advertise. Some people will call it showing off. You know, Pastor? Yeah, some people will call it showing off. We do not go out and brag about all the good that PNM has done and continue pushing it to the people and let them know that PNM has what all the good is that PNM has given this country, right? And as you and Mr. Romaine said earlier on, all these Monday night forum and all these press conference and all of that, PNM have to step up their game, and that is one of PNM weaknesses, as I say, the communication part of the People's National Movement machinery, the communication part, right? And I want to tell one or two, some people are here and talking about Dr. Rowley comment about geometry. The behavior he was talking about, I have heard in this country with the Spain and this girls, people call him the former goodly Prime Minister, the worst names, pedophile, all kind of things, and people of names and letters, people who are supposed to be leaders in our society, listen to all these people who is their supporters and all of that, calling the gentleman name while he was Prime Minister. In here, nobody coming out. All these people who popping out now, nobody was coming out and saying about, do even say respect his office. Where were all of you all? All you can't bite all the tongue? Where were all of you all? Right? So, Pastor Google, I've looked on and listened again. All you keep up the good work, and I love the program, and all you continue doing these things. We have to educate and inform the population all the good that PNM has done for this country. PNM built this country. And this thing about we don't like to show off because we not like them again, it's not working. We have to find some new strategy. Pastor Google, I looked on and listened, my brother. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, the caller who called and spoke about David Mohammed didn't get work under the PNM. Since a young David Mohammed, every time PNM is in government, he advocates for people not to vote for PNM. Talking to somebody else?
No, you have to load on your TV because you will listen to our delay. All right, so yeah,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you have to load on your television or else you will hear a delay.
All right, I'll wait on. Yes, let me go again. Since I'm young, not small because I am young. Every time PNM is in office and it comes to an election, David Mohammed always advocating for people to don't vote or vote against the PNM. Well, he get his reward. I think he gets some position in the library, in the National Library. I also recognize Duke, who give people soup on $100 a year work. I hear he working somewhere in NGC. Or you correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he has.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, he is.
All right, and I want to talk about Dr. Rowley now. I remember Anal Roberts raking Dr. Rowley's wife over the coals and accusing her friend with some Indian policeman from somewhere. Where was the UNC voices when that was happening? Where were the UNC voices when our distinguished president in the person of former President Paula May Weeks was called a what? An insipid jackass by Naked. And all these people were glorifying that. According to Dominic, is a sort of hypocrisy. It's total hypocrisy going on in this country with the people they call UNC. And last but not least, these people know to play victim, but they are not the victims, they are the villains. And it's time that something be done about them. Oh, I not remember last point I have to say. PNM people in Toko, Sani Grande, and Kumoto, Manzanilla have known thousands upon thousands of them. And they don't comment on the things that the UNC doing. The PNM people who held high office, who held middle position, who held what? So our PR is very poor because nobody answers back. It's only two people I know. I want to call the man name, a man from coal mine, he and I. Every day I look at Facebook, I see us criticizing, commenting, giving recommendation as it based on the PNM, as it based on the PNM, and as a result of the atrocities of the UNC. We always come out against that. We need to do better PR. Everybody, we have too many young people in this country. Too many young people on social media supposed to be the thing. Every page you see is a UNC, and they don't know what they're talking about, you know, but they're making sure they're there. They're condemning what is right and upholding what is wrong, but they're there. You're not seeing that from the PNM. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you very much, caller. All right, 464-7003. 464-7003. All right, let's take your calls quickly because I know Mr. Romaine have to go. So you all need to call in quickly and make your point short and to the point. 464-7003. 464-7003. Call in now. Make your point. Say what you have to say. If you have any questions for Mr. Romaine, you can do so. Let's take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Yes, hi. This is the calling program.
Yes, sir.
Yes, lovely program. I want to compliment you. Excellent program, you know. And you speak the truth. You listen.
Thank you.
You know. And
I have Mr. Romaine with me.
Yes, Mr. Romaine. I know Mr. Romaine. You know, I know our family up on his side, right, in Arima, Malabar.
Yes.
And he really going out to see for employment for a lot of them people who employed, who was kept Europe, whatnot. He really going out to help them, you know. And that is wonderful. And I like to say to Mr. Romaine, keep it up. You keep up that, you know, enthusiasm that they have. I know that is the way to go.
All right.
Also, right?
All right.
The last election, we have ourselves to blame in a way because we have people who was hand down certain privilege, certain things to do, right? And they wasn't doing it, right? We cannot just blame the Prime Minister. You know, they wasn't doing it.
All right.
On the PNM part, they was not doing it, right?
All right.
They seem to grab it for themselves, and we must admit that. Because
right.
I know it have people that did that.
All right. Thank you very much, caller.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening to Mr. Romaine. I'm also a caller from Arima.
Okay.
And I just want to piggyback on a few callers who spoke about communication.
Right.
MP Romaine, sir, as you caucus with your colleagues, especially social media officer, MP Dino Brigger, this is one thing I would say to you gentlemen, where the leader of the opposition is dropping the ball. If you have a slate where you have certain members pick up certain positions, and Mr. Dino Brigger is the social media designate, why is the leader not forcing Mr. Nobrigger to be every single day on social media, posting all the great things that the PNM has done, is doing to rebuild the party to get back into office soon? Why is he not doing that? Or why is the leader not doing that? And you as a fellow member, Mr. Romaine, you should be behind the leader, or behind your fellow colleague, Mr. Nino Brigger, to be active on social media constantly. Because as what a caller rightly said about the algorithm, the UNC mastered social media. That is what won them the election. Propaganda and using the tools to spread it rapidly. So until you yourself, Mr. Romaine, talk to your colleague on the opposition bench or keep being behind the leader to encourage her colleague to be on social media constantly, every single day, to spread the news and debunk the disinformation, we're not going anywhere, sir. Thank you all, gentlemen. Excellent program. Good night from Arima.
Thank you.
You have anything to say, Dominic?
Well, we are having discussions, I would say, and there's certainly a plan that is being put in place and a strategy to treat with the social media. But what I would also like to say is that while that is in train, what is being put out now, it is critical for our supporters to share what is there. Because when I look at the number of shares, sometimes you see things coming out, and I don't know if it is PNM, people are afraid to share things because they figure they don't want their friends or to see that they support in the PNM. Because if they share it, it will obviously show up on their friend timeline, so and so shared, whatever, right? But the UNC, it could be what? You will be seeing things, Anna Roberts will put out something that's being shared 400 or 500 times, and PNM put out something, and if we get 20 shares, 25 shares, we get a lot. We need to deal with that.
So the reality of it is that even if Mr. Nobrega, and we talking the things as it is, even if Mr. Nobrega sits in front of camera like me every day and talk, and have people talking, if nobody shares it, then it is irrelevant.
Correct. The algorithm works when you share.
And I think that is that is something that our people not even understanding. Let's be real. That is something I think that our people not even understanding, because as you said, there are things that there's a young lady who takes snippets of some of the things that you just be talking about.
Yes.
And she has a TikTok page where she shares it, right? Dominic, if you go on that page and you watch and see what people sharing, what she talking about or commenting on what she posting of the importance of some of the things that you sharing, come on, it is chalk and cheese compared to, as you rightfully say, Annie Roberts or somebody else.
Yes.
So again, on a Sunday, you will read out some documents from the parliament, bringing people abreast of what is going on and why it's going on and what to think, and she will cut it out. And give it a heading. But when you watch how much people sharing that, Dominic, let me be real. If she get 1,000, she get plenty.
Yes.
And that what she does be doing is a lot of work. People feel that's small thing to do. That is not small thing to do, to listen to your whole program and to cut out snippets of important statements that you making. It's not small thing.
That's right.
Let's take this call. Hello, good evening.
Hey, pleasant good night, Pastor, man. Pleasant good night. And pleasant good night to Mr. MP Romaine.
I realize you threw me away when people like Mr. Romaine and Mr. Amy Brown and others coming on, you just call. All right, go ahead.
Now, Pastor, that's another big, long excuse I had to give you there, but it's a serious one, but not tonight on the show. I have a question for Mr. Romaine. So, I'm a young person from Superior, right? Also, sort of a listener to your program. Before you were elected MP, I used to listen to your program a lot, right? My question is this. Recently, I know the Saudis and they were in the country and they were touring around the country, you know, looking for prospects and stuff and thing. And that was related to the blueprint, right? Revitalization project, the grandeur that the UNC proposed, right, to the population, right? Now, a lot of young people, I mean, who qualified, right? We kind of suffering, you know, we unemployed, we suffering, and we reaching out for answers and we cannot get no answers. But what we seeing, and after tying this into my conversation, we are seeing people, you know, getting wages 5% here, 10% here, and everybody, you know, negotiating for wages, for higher wages, which is nothing wrong, right? But the revenue streams in this country, what are the revenue streams really to come in? Because Mr. Romaine, sir, if you're going in certain public places now, right, do you know cartridges for ink machines are not being brought, they're not being procured properly? Do you know I went into the hospital last week for CT scan, right? And I had to go back in two sessions in different weeks. I didn't get through. I had to end up going to private to pay $3,800 for a CT scan, right? Because the one in San Fernando is not working properly, and nobody could give you an explanation, right? But I'm hearing people talking about pay, but what about the revenue? How? Because if you're offering people more pay, right? How are you now going to cover the expenses of where these people working? And this is a question we asking. This is questions we asking. And now we are unemployed and looking for a job, and hearing people asking for pay, and then hearing that inside where these people who are asking for more pay cannot even get the proper tools to work with. I mean, it's a question. It's boggling, it's mind-boggling. So we want to know what really going on with the state of this whole economy, in a sense. I mean, I'm not sounding cohesive, but I'm already trying to tie in things, because we're getting flummoxed out there. And the problem is we cannot speak out, we can't say nothing, we just have to be silent. I mean, I'm taking a risk and even calling on this program. And it is not me alone, there are other people. And this is just my slight contribution.
So wait a minute, what do you mean by you taking a risk?
Pastor,
what do you mean by you taking a risk?
The man calling from Superior.
What has to do with it? He free to talk because he's from Superior.
Yeah, but people might recognize his voice.
Pastor, that is the problem. People recognize your voice and they're calling you out and saying, boy, take a rest on what you're saying. Yeah, I can't be vocal out here now. Now it's not that time. It is not that time. This is what I'm quoting to you. Now it's not that time to be vocal. You have to keep quiet.
What are you saying?
Why is that?
People from Superior telling you that? I have people from Superior listening to this program, sir. All right, brother. Have a good night. Have a good night. Have a good night.
Good night.
Hello, good evening.
Good
night, Pastor Google.
Dominic, you know this voice?
Good night, Dominic Romaine MP.
Dominic, you know where this man from?
Dominic.
Yes, sir.
I want to give this one because, like all you're thinking that the Prime Minister say she don't have to send us to kill Calypso. Calypso doing a good job, but she put on an expensive dress, head to New York, come back with nothing. Rubio come here, she gave my doubles. But Andrew Macano, Lord Superior, was in the Oval Place entertaining President Obama with black coffee in the White House. So Calypso reach with the Prime Minister never reach. All she do is go and get a pen and come back talking nonsense. Oh Lord, all you save this country, all you people, all you get up and wake up now. Look what's going on. Dr. Leroy Callis have a song. You feel any Indian we fight in Pakistan, go leave see any business to help out African. They say me people lazy and how they have no will. If we don't love them, tell me who will have gone. Have a good night, Dominic.
All right.
You too, sir.
Okay. All right. Dominic, you know that man?
Of course.
Where you from?
He from down south.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure you're picking up on the voices now. Pick up on the voices, Dominic. The voices. Some of them voices, Dominic, we used to hear them on where we used to be. You know?
Oh, yes. Correct.
Hello, good evening.
Pastor Guru, good night.
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
MP Romaine, good night.
Good night.
This is one of your ardent Sunday supporters. I couldn't wait to hear your voice and your educative program on this TV here tonight.
Thank you.
But MP Dominic, I have an observation I want to put to you. I don't know if you have the authorization to speak on it tonight. If you could, I will be appreciative of it. Now, as much as possible, I don't ever miss your programs. I don't miss Pastor Google's programs. As a matter of fact, I try my best not to miss nothing concerning politics. I'm a retiree at home, so I have nothing to do. However, MP Dominic, I have been observing a trend in the PNM, of late. I don't know if you can answer this question. MP, is there a separation in the PNM politics? Why I ask that, everybody is saying that the PNM is not advertising, the PNM is not publicizing enough, and, in comparison to the UNC, if the UNC members are going to work, we get in a picture with them going to work. If they're home dressing, we get a picture of them with some video of them home dressing. We are not getting anything from the PNM MP Romaine, right? It is publicly been said that the leader of the PNM isn't doing enough to strengthen the PNM party. A chain is as strong as its weakest link, which is true. Right now, MP, the PNM is it is weak. Come on, let us admit it. It is weak, right? And we know you 13 guys, you have a lot of work to do. I commiserate with you people when you people go to the parliament with the Speaker of the House. He is as biased as can be. You all don't get chances to ask certain questions. You all don't get chances to make certain declarations. I really do commiserate with you guys. But again, we go back to the leader. There's 13 of you. And Miss Penny, she has been there longer than many of you, and she knows the ins and the outs of the parliament. She knows the ins and the outs of the PNM party. Do you think, can you answer, do you think she is strong enough to bring this party home for us to get back some sort of recognition? Because right now, we are weak. We are weak. And if we could get somebody like Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, what they say, he's a Rough Rider. We need a Rottweiler in the PNM right now to bring the party back up to focus. We need somebody to bring it to fore. It is weak. Okay, Mrs. Camille Robinson Reggie, she just came back to work, and listen to her. Listen to her when she speaks. You have to listen. Right? MP Romaine, I know you do your damnedest best. Pastor Google, you do your damnedest best. And there are a couple of you. You try. But the PNM have a lot of work to do. MP Dominic Romaine, is there something wrong within that 13 of you? Is there something wrong? Is there a separation? I don't want to come out and say what I want to say, but I'm sure you know the question I want to ask, because I don't want to put you in jeopardy. If you can answer, I will appreciate your answer. And I will always listen to your program. I never miss your program. This is Elizabeth. I await your answer. And you all guys have a great night tonight. Thank you.
Dominic?
Yes, sir.
You want to answer?
Well, my answer to that would be, that the 13 of us in the parliament, we are a team, right? We work together. We support each other. So, and we are committed to rebuilding the PNM. And it's not an easy task, right? And no man is an island. And so while persons may look to one or two persons to do it, if we don't work as a team, then nothing is going to happen. And the team extends beyond the 13 of us and really the entire PNM party. And when I hear people talk about, it's the PNM, this and they need to understand the PNM is not the 13 of us in the house. It is the 100,000 persons who are card holding members of the party, and those persons who may not be card holding members but who vote for the PNM, who support the PNM. Those and we need to understand why we are where we are, right? We offered ourselves to the electorate just as the UNC did. In fact, we were the only party to offer 41 candidates. No other party did that. And the population, and I don't know if perhaps it was because, it was 10 consecutive years. The last time we had a government in power that long, of course, would have been under Dr. Eric Williams back in the 1970s, 80s, thereabout. So it was, in a sense, a new phenomenon for the population. And those who were there during that time, during the last 10 years, have come out and they have apologized. They have acknowledged the fact that errors were made, mistakes were made, perhaps things could have been done a different way. But as they say, hindsight is 20/20 vision, right? And if we are to go forward as a party and really, I don't like to use the term rebuild, because rebuild suggests that the party has collapsed. The party has not collapsed. What we need to do is to recalibrate, right? And really refocus and get back on track. No, I mean...
So let me just ask you this, Dominic.
Yeah.
Right? Because people are talking from their perspective and their emotions. Right?
Yes.
And if let's say Miss Beckles is not the leader, and let's say you was the leader. Let's say Miss Camille Robertson Regis was the leader. Whoever.
Yeah.
This at this point of the where the party is at, there will be a point where people would say, because remember you're coming from a high, you were the government, you were on a high. Now you have dipped down. You have to now balance back yourself and raise back up, right? As you rightfully say, as you are saying, one person alone cannot do it.
No.
And I remember Ms. Beckles made a statement at the 70th anniversary where she said that the PLM is not our personalities.
Yeah.
It's about a people. It's not a personality movement. It's a people's national movement. So it means that everybody, as you said, the 13 of you alone cannot do it. You have somebody like Mr. Wendell Eversley. I watch what Wendell is doing. Wendell is choking at the armor of this government. He is calling for the Homeland Security Minister to go. He went to he have a court matter coming up. So you have people who need to find their niche, as you were saying. Where are the good lawyers in the PNM? Where are the good lawyers? Where are the persons like my father and others who are constitutional lawyers? Why can't they file a case in the court to question and to pull on a political? When look at Miss Bisasa. Dominic, we would have never believed that this woman would have rise back up to be the prime minister of this country. When she stood up behind a platform, she was weak. She cleaning she nose every minute with a piece of tissue. She licking she lip like if she wants something to drink. Her words are not formed properly, balige and all kind of thing. And she rose up to be prime minister. Because of the people around her.
I wouldn't say that she rose up to be prime minister, because one of the most echoed sentiments that we get from members of the government when they have to respond to us in the parliament or when they're giving a statement, they always love to say that the population gave them an overwhelming mandate and so on, which really and truly is they may have gotten an overwhelming mandate in terms of the number of seats. But when we look at it from a vote perspective, the People's National Movement, and I've always said this because I went and I looked and I did the calculations, the extra 9 seats that we went into the election with, that we lost those 9 seats, cumulative votes, by 15,080 votes. All we needed was 15,080 votes to still be in government. So when I hear them talking about 102,000 people who voted for the PNM in 2020 didn't vote for us in 2025, that is true. But we did not need all of that. We needed 15,080 votes. And in every one of those constituencies that we lost, we had the votes to be able to conquer the UNC and the TPP. The problem is that PNM people did not do what they were supposed to do. So I look at it from the perspective that while the task ahead may seem difficult, what we have to do is really to win back the support, or not really to win. The support is there now. It's to encourage our supporters to just come out and do what it is that they need to do. The support is there. And that is why our supporters need to understand that they have a role to play. Simple things, Google. You will go on the Roberts will put out a post. David Nackett will put out a post. Philip Alexander will put out a post. And when you go and you look in the comments. Now I know some of them edit the comments like Alexander and stuff. Anything that is and that doesn't line up with him, he will delete, right? But I don't think Anil Roberts does that. But overwhelmingly, you will see a lot of UNC people will go and they will post comments in support of what he says and praise him and so on. You'll see 1 or 2 PNM. But when PNM people put out things, these UNC people come and they flood with all kind of nasty comments and so on. I am not saying that PNM supporters need to be nasty, But when these people put out the thing, this you know, this practice that PM people have, listening to Andy Robertson, I don't want to hear he, and I don't want to hear Nakin. You don't have to hear them. You don't need to listen to everything. Listen to just a little bit. Yes, it's annoying, it's disgusting. And then go in the comments and let them know. But they feel empowered to say these things and do these things because they believe that the PNM doesn't have support because they're not seeing it reflective. And they are basing their support on social media. That's why they spend so much money. They put out these things and then the comments will tell them, okay, this is the pulse of the people. This is how people feel. Just go in the comments. All you have to say is great is the PNM. Or go from here. You're talking rubbish. And when they see all these PNM people coming into the comments and flooding in and they realize, well, wait now, like PNM on a resurgence, they will think twice. But that is what our supporters need to do. They need to come on board. And when we have, we are planning things. Things are in the works, and I'm not at liberty really to specify all of the things that we're doing right now, right? But it will be rolled out very soon. But when that time comes, we need the support of the people. It can't be that we call a meeting and a few people come out, and the majority of people just looking on Facebook and on YouTube. Jump in your car, come to the meeting. Show us support. You know what the UNC loves to gauge in terms of support? When we have a public meeting, they go on YouTube a day after or two to see how many total views we had. And when they have a meeting to see how many total views they had, and then they have their supporters, like this one from down Point Fortin, Irvin Felix, will do screenshot and post up PNM meeting and look how much people watch and look how much people look at the UNC meeting and all kind of things. So we need to fix that.
Yeah, let's take this call.
That is where it has to start.
Let's take this call. Hello, good evening.
Good night. Good night, Pastor Google.
Hi, good evening.
Somebody mentioned about where the lawyers, right?
Yeah, Dominic Romaine mentioned that.
Right. Now, as a HGC owner, I am still annoyed about the fact the law that was passed in Parliament concerning our handing over of our property to our children, and the children have to pay a certain percentage after.
No, that law. Sorry, ma'am. Let me stop you. That wasn't that law that was passed.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was not law that was passed. It was something that the HDC chairman would have recommended to the Prime Minister and to the Minister when the opposition got wind of it. The opposition would have brought it out to the public, and the public would have had an outcry against it, and right now they have shelved it.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yes, they have shelved it. You're not hearing anything about that anymore.
Yeah, because I was prepared to form a movement in one. Get the lawyers and make a big case. I was prepared.
Yeah, but that is not what's happening.
But and the other thing, Mr. Romaine said about going on the social media and counteracting what the UNC bloggers are doing. I agree with that, and I do that. And sometimes on one blog, my name there, and send the blogger and send the supporters, and I giving them my take on it. So yes, we need to be vigilant and do not be afraid and to speak out. We must not be muzzled. We speak out against the nonsense that is being propagated by the UNC government and all the influencers and all the supporters on social media.
Thank you, caller.
So, you have a great night.
Thank you very much. Dominic, you said something there that made me go to check out something, So the last political meeting we had, which was Monday, the PNM had 20,000 views.
Right.
The meeting that they had in Tunapuna, which was a more like people come and give their what you call it. They say they can ask questions and whatever. That one had 19,000 views. So what we need to do is to continue. The numbers have to go up. It must go up to 40,000, 100,000.
Agreed.
That's what it needs to reach to. Because at the end of the day, as you rightfully say, if we don't step up, the UNC will always believe that, hey, the PNM ain't ready yet because look, we have more views, we have more this, we have more that.
And they know the psychological effect of that, because when PNM people see that, they say, like the PNM has no support. But
yeah.
And then that people come despondent, but the support is there. But we need to grow that support, so that when we have the meetings, we need the people to come out, because add energy to the thing. When the speakers see a crowd, it gives us that motivation. Hey, we need to have more meetings like this. But if it is, we have meetings and just barely enough people come out, then you're not giving us the motivation to continue to have, because the UNC sending their spies, they will come just before the meeting starts and take a picture and say, watch, scanty.
Yeah, and let's do that. Let's do that. Oh gosh, and what you're saying is so true, because I had a friend who I spoke to today. She's a UNC, and she said that to me. She said, I passed my only meeting. When I passed the first time, I didn't see so much people, but then when I passed back the second time, I saw people in the stands, and I said, nah, boy, that meeting score. She said, once I see people in the stands, the meeting score. I say, okay, all right. Hello, good evening.
Yes, Pastor Google. I just going back to say about the social media aspect of what is going on with regard to the PNM and the UNC and counteracting all the misinformation and disinformation that is being propagated on a daily basis, right? Well, I am on social media 24 hours a day, right? I just monitor all things on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, what have you.
You're getting paid?
Right? No, I don't get paid. I just monitor things. You know me.
All right, I thought you was getting paid. I just wanted to know. I wanted to put my name down on the list.
Me ain't get no pay for that.
To get a little money. Dominic paying you?
So,
if Dominic paying you, Dominic, if you're paying this man, let me know now so I can put my name down on the list. I have my Amplia bill to pay. I have my Tiantec bill to pay.
Pastor Google, I am making it abundantly clear. I am not being financed by no member of parliament or no PNM. This is independent running here.
Dominic say, sir, this is not TTT.
Right. This is an independent body here, not propagated here. But anyway, what I'm saying, right, and Dominic is right, because I have been, you know me, I just go and view these mouthpieces and them, like the Roberts and the this one and the that one and the, right? And I just go and do, I just screenshot, screen record, and I go do thing, and go back and look in my archives and find out what they did in the previous years they were there, and I will do a few moments later. So it comes to show that what they're talking now is what they be contrary to what they would have done prior. Right? But all the misinformation and disinformation is being propagated by the UNC and the mouthpieces. Right? This country like bacchanal. This country don't like they don't like proper and correct information. If it's bacchanal, couture, mayhem, propaganda, lies, you see, Trinidad people love that. What is the right thing? They will kind of back from it, because it has no substance in it to really give it that for them to share and to think. And you understand? And they know these kind of people there is going to continuously spewing the misinformation and the UNC base is going to share it over and over. But you know me.
But I think what Dominic is recommending is exactly what we need to do. Right? What we need to do is work together, share the right thing, support one another, and push back. We need to push back against this government, not push back against one another.
But listen to me, Pastor Google. Listen to me. I have my laptop. I have a folder. I tell you, I have a folder with PNM achievements. I have a folder with UNC propaganda from since in Pandey time coming forward. That is why when people I was able to go to my archives and I will say, hey, look this, hey, look that. Because, you see, they feel that it have some Trinidadians, no, not some. They feel that all people in this country are gullible and like the waterfront ilk. You understand?
Yeah, man.
But, we have receipts to show what they did.
Well, send me that file.
When they start to hit them that now, they just want to come and use the race talk or get personal.
Send me that file, though.
Fix them.
Send me that file. Send me that file. Wow, Dominic, you here? Dominic, you here? Dominic, you here?
That file is there. I can whatever you want from it, I can give you, but I can't send it, so it don't work so.
All right, sir. All right.
All right, so good program. Long time listening.
Hey, caller.
Yeah.
Tell your MP he need to come on this program a little often now.
Who's that? Marvin Gonzalez?
No. Oh, I thought you just said Dominic is MP.
No. I live in a Dominic constituency, but I am originally voting in my
you just vote apart. You just vote apart. All right.
No, I don't vote apart. Never did. About what years? I voted since 2007 to now. I never vote apart. Never did.
All right.
Right. So, if anything, I'll give Marvin number. He could jump on, man.
Why you don't tell him?
Well, of course, I no crime in that. I can send him a message and go want to talk to you.
No, don't tell him I want to talk to him. Tell him, hey, you need to go on constructive talk.
Well, no scene with that, but you seeing that, I go through that message. You know that.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, bless.
Yeah, man. Dominic, I know you're ready to go, but the call's coming in fast and furious, boy. So
I can give you 10 more minutes.
Hey, look again, 10 more minutes, only 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. At least you're running like Mr. Scotland. Mr. Scotland, he said, Google, I know I told you 10 more minutes, but the calls are coming in. This program is still he excited. He said Dr. Amy Brown and all, boy. When Dr. Brown was on, he and all was really, he was shocked. He was really, really shocked. You know what I mean? He was really, 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 really shocked. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Just one quick question, right?
Yes, sir.
When you all talk about a cadre of lawyers, right? Now, and you all mentioned, Mr. Romaine mentioned when UNC was in opposition, he had a cadre of lawyers, naming Ravi Bhargobin Maharaj and Anand Logan, Jayanti Lasmedial, and co, challenging everything.
Yes, sir.
That Dr. Rowley at the PNM did.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, if that's the case, right, don't you think that that directive came from the leadership?
No, actually, no, No.
How does that work? Could you explain that to me?
Okay. So I heard it my own ears already. And even the guy, Dominic, I don't know if you remember, there's a guy who used to take everything up to the PV Council. What was his name?
Yeah, that's Ravi Bhargobin.
Right.
They used to use him for that.
Right. He was, I remember hearing Mr. Ram Logan and somebody else was saying that was an idea that was hatched by him. And he was the one who would always listen and find kinks in Dr. Rowley and the armor and bring it to them. They didn't used to wait for Miss Bisasa. Miss Bisasa used to find out by the way and say, I see so and so. Half of the time she didn't even know what was going on. When Ramdeen and Ram Logan want to go after something, half of the time she didn't even used to know. She used to find out by the way. And I want to say this to your caller. The same way Mr. Keith Scotland SC was on the program here. And Mr. Scotland said it. He said, I remember the days when your father and I used to fight battles together where the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago is concerned. And he said that he's going to call my father and let them sit together and flesh out how they can go after this government. He cannot do it because he's a politician, so he cannot be in the forefront. But he's organizing a meeting with my father, my aunt, and others to push back.
I'm glad to hear that because I did listen to our program and you are right in what you said. I just wanted to know if there was a process on why is it taking so long though?
Nah, they have to sit down and flush it out and know, well, okay, these are the things and point out what they're going after. You understand? It's just I think that my dad have some senior matters that he trying to wind up, and they need to have their meeting. Because up to what date was my aunt and all was saying that they did have I think it's 4 of them, a 4-way call on WhatsApp, and they're gonna get their act together.
All right, I'm so happy to hear that. I just wanted to know. I just wanted some clarity.
Yeah, but I just find anyway, let me just say that because it's my father, so.
And also, one final thing, I do share the point that people need to be sharing everything, sharing this program, sharing Sharon's program, sharing Dominic's program, and all the programs that represent in this party. All the posts that the representatives of the PNM post on social media, we need to be sharing it like wildfire because that's how the UNC won the last general election. Propaganda. We need to contract that propaganda with the right propaganda.
We want to spread the false propaganda. You want to spread the wrong propaganda. So. You understand?
Exactly so.
If you hear something about Dominic, if you hear something about Dominic, that is propaganda we want to spread. And we want to say that they should get rid of Dominic and they don't put him back up and Dominic will be the main topic for the whole year. And the UNC is not the enemy anymore. Dominic will be the enemy. Are lying, Dominic?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Cora.
Have a good night, sir. Thank you.
Man. Dominic, I want to ask you a question before you go. We had a discussion last night, Dominic. And this is Monday. Here the discussion. No, not me and you. We are talking about last night. I had a discussion on my live. And here the question I ask. Listen, I apply for a job at, let me say PNM is in office. Right? PNM is in office, Dominic. And I apply for a job. Right? I apply for a job at TTT. Right? I have a diploma. I have a diploma in mass communications and media from Roytech. Okay? And heavy duty have a MBA in communications. Right? Listen there. All right, they will say don't use.
You have an MBA?
Wait, no, you don't. All right, so I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use MBA. I use somebody else. Somebody else have an MBA, but they are UNC. The person is UNC, known UNC activist. Right? I am a PNM activist, as everybody know. I will talk. I'm a talk show about,
Right.
Listen, So the both of us apply for the position. I have 15 years in media. The person have 15 years in media. But I have a diploma and the person have a MBA. Right? But they are known UNC. Who you think they should hire?
I hiring. Let me see, boy. Well, which answer you want?
I want the honest answer. So listen, listen again. I have a diploma. You know me to be to be an advocate for the party. I have 15 years in media. I am an advocate for the party, but I have a diploma in mass communications and media. Somebody who is a UNC have an MBA applying for the same position I am applying for, which is a talk show host in Talk City. Who will you hire?
And when you say so, and what position do I hold?
Usually the minister, but you have a say in the HR.
Right.
And let's say HR reach out to you and say to you, Dominic, this is what we have. These are the two candidates. Who do you recommend? Who would you think that we should go with?
Well, if it's me, I would hire the PNM one.
Why you will hire the PNM one and not the most qualified, suitable candidate?
Well, for one, because he has a degree or a master's in mass communication, don't necessarily mean he qualified.
Okay.
He might be academically bright, but I am mindful of my audience, what they want, what they want to hear, and who is the target market I reaching out to. So when he come with his intellectual talk and he boring my listeners, yeah, mass communication, but the man who knows the ground, who has the experience, and who knows how to connect. That's what is key, to connect. Right, because you are. Watch how much followers and listeners you had on 91.9.
Oh gosh. Yep.
You feel if me who come and get a program, people gonna listen to you?
Never.
Go ahead.
Never. Let's take this last caller and we close off the program. Hello, good evening.
Good afternoon, family. Good afternoon, Pastor. Good afternoon to Mr. Romaine. Well, good night, sorry. Pastor, you have a question? Hello?
Go ahead, caller.
Good morning.
Yeah, well, it's good morning. Yeah. You have a question a couple calls ago. Yes, people do listen to your podcast because, believe it or not, I have been approached on many times after my constitution and took some points one name and do this and do that and on the man program and some China people. Hence the reason I don't call them again. I say green lady and whatever. But people who you don't think listen you, they listen you. So yeah. You have a while relationship. And you don't just think the people who you don't think listen to you is the exact same people who are listening to you. Don't feel that they listen. They listen. Same thing with Dominic. Don't feel that the people who you don't think listen or we feel listen. They are listening because just imagine that person me in the grocery. Yeah, look on good night, fellas. I can't stay too long because it's too late. So
yeah, well, thank you. Thank you, Dominic. This fella who on the phone line here, you know, he and Felicia is friends.
We are not friends. Stop saying that.
What are you all then?
We happen to be in the same union. That's it. We are not friends.
Right, Dominic. So he in the same union with Felicia, and he is one of them. Felicia. Well, that's in Felicia.
Felicia.
Oh, okay. Well, he in the union will get it 10%.
Okay. Good night. Good night. I get money. I get the money. You ain't
get no money yet. Wait, just now. You ain't get any money yet.
Well, I don't know that person because we are supposed to get the money December 23rd. You know, we got a press release.
You got a press release?
Yeah, on the 23rd.
All right, my brother. I'm sorry. Forgive me now.
So we can do I get money. We got press release.
All right then. Okay.
The worker, I know how hard the worker because we get yet.
All right, my brother. Have a good night.
All right, then.
Have a good
Enjoy the night.
Same to you.
Morning.
Dominic, your closing remarks.
Well, listening to the guy clearly, all this government given is a fool's comfort, also known as a promise. Right? They love to say PNM's promises never materialize. But examine the UNC's track record, the list of promises that they made, and the ones that they have decided to fulfill. They love to say promise made, promise kept, promise delivered. But how many of those promises that they've kept and delivered have really benefited or redound to the benefit of the citizens, and more so the average citizen who would have given them their vote thought they were getting something better, right? They thought the grass was greener on the other side, and then when they get there, they realize that it was artificial turf. And so now they are where they are. But we and the opposition bench continue to do what we need to do, notwithstanding the challenges that we face, both inside and outside of the parliament chamber. All right. So, but as a party, I think we need to come together. We need to do the work. As I said, it's not just the 13 of us, but we need the support of all those of you who were upset with the last administration for whatever reason. Not saying that these reasons weren't legitimate. I'm not going to try to discount how people felt about certain decisions. I think perhaps we could have done well. Those who were there could have done a little better in terms of explaining the reasoning behind some of the decisions that they took. But people are now waking up to the reality of why certain things had to be done. But there's not going to be any early election. I don't foresee that. This government is in it for the long haul, and there are benefits to be had from them for them staying the full period of at least 60 months, right, from a compensatory perspective, and that is their primary motive, because they love money bad. There's guys who say they love money bad, but they're afraid jail.
Yeah, Mr. Saro.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So let's keep on fighting on, right? Google is doing his part. I am doing my part. And as I said, the party does in fact have things in place that we'll be rolling out very soon. And we're looking forward to that support from our membership. If you are just a supporter and not a member of the PNM, I want to encourage you, please become a member. It's not that difficult. You just need to fill out one of the application forms, right? And I think the membership is, you're just paying $10 or something so to join. If you're not a member of a party group, please join the party group. We need to strengthen the organs of the party. We've been here before. We went from 33.3, and if we could come from 33.3 to back into government, and then we went from 29.12, and then 13, where we are now, right? So this is not the worst of the lot. So if we could come back from 33.3, we could certainly come back from 13. But what we need to ensure is that this time around, when we come back, is that we have a membership and a support base that is committed to the party. If you join the party, if you become part of the organs of the party, whether it be the party group or the constituency executives or whatever it is, when we are in government, you find things are not going the way you like, then you can utilize these channels to let the leadership know, get your acts together. Right? So that's the best way to do it. Not wait until election day and then you say, I am voting, and then you end up shooting yourself in the foot, as many people would have done on April 20th. Right? So join us. Let's recalibrate, not rebuild. Right? Let's recalibrate and let's get the party back on track. And for God's sake, so that these clowns like Anil Roberts and David Naked and they could stop, trying to make the PNM a laughing stock. Let us stop giving them fodder to be able to do so. Right? So
let me ask you publicly, did you enjoy yourself on the program this evening?
Well, the fact that I'm still here at 12:07.
Yeah. I know how to wait a good while before I ask you again, eh?
Well, I just making room for my other colleagues.
Well, tell them about it now.
All right. Well, I will speak to MP Birchwood.
Right.
He's a good one.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd be happy to tell you what's happening in Labantil.
Yeah, and his first and being a first time MP too.
Yes.
But talk to him for me.
I will do that.
Or send me his number.
Not a problem.
All right, my brother. Thanks very much again.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Trinidad and Tobago and the world by extension. All of you who's still on the live, boy. Wow. Thank you all very, very much for being with me this evening. And I had as my guest, Mr. Dominic Romaine. And as you all know, he is the MP for... let me make sure I see
Malabar Mausica.
Malabar Mausica. All right. So thank you very much, Mr. Romaine, for being with us this evening. And we will touch base with you soon, man.
All right.
All right, then. Bye.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it there for me. I am looking to make my way out of the studio and into my bed. All right. So we talk soon, Trinidad and Tobago. And those of you on the live, have a blessed and restful morning.
The information provided by the speakers and/or presenter on Facebook and YouTube is for general informational purposes only. All information is provided in good faith. However, Constructive Talk makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information.
Feeling the pain. My faith's been tested time and time again. Oh, but my spirit is determined to believe and to overcome life trials that seem to never done. But still, I kneel before you with a praying song. Lord, I come to pray for the strength and the faith that's required. Amen. I pray for my people to not lose their fire. Amen. For those who suffering in silence, grant them wisdom, cures, clarity and guidance. I pray for the young and I pray for the old. Cover their minds, Lord, don't let them lose control. Though we stand in sin, no transgressions are many. Thank God for the life that He gave me. To all you who doubting and losing faith, time to congregate, no time to separate. I'm calling on the prayer warriors in the country. Love for Trinidad need we, cause I say Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Life is getting harder to manage. Oh yeah. The plan you had for us, it's vanishing. Cause the violence, Lord, the nation in distress. What's it gonna take? We need a rest. It's time that we repent and we confess. Cause Lord, I'm tired of the bloodshed, it rising in numbers. Amen. I'm tired see the youth choose the path of plunder. Amen. Can't walk the street in peace is a problem. Father, intervene, please save your children. Amen. I pray for them gangs, them surrender your soul. You're not fully dumb, but you're fully in control. To change up your mindset and clean up your community. Thank God for the life that He gave we. To all you who don't